very warm welcome, one and all, to Sports Cover Arena, a day and a fixture that promises exciting football and historical significance. It is the Big V against Perth Footy League men's representative match. I'm Matthew Don. I've got Hugo Higginbotham with me. Hugo, this is a big day for the Big V in terms of the fixture itself and history of the state as well.
Thanks, Matty. Amazing day here, and it's a day of history. 100 years of the Big V on our home ground, Sports Cover Arena. Let's delve into that history a little bit. Big V, we've played 174 games, won an astonishing 141 at a win rate of 81%. Defeated Perth in 2023, lost to Perth in 2024 by 23 points. So it's our year to bring it back to 100 years here at Sports Cover Arena. Matty.
Well, Hugo, we'll let you go because you've got to be up in the commentary box. You've got special comments to do. So we'll throw upstairs now to the team of Ward Harris, Simon Petch and Paddy Grinley. Gentlemen.
Very quick pace after handling the women's game that yesterday. May I add, let's talk keys to the game, Ward and Petchy. The Big V, they will be focusing at pressure at the source today, and they've got the players to do it. The likes of Harry Hill on the inside, who's had a super year out of Old Brighton. Ollie Houghton, of course, the brother of Taj, who'll be jetting off to the MCG a little bit later on. Campbell Lane on the outside, they'll be hoping to give it to Marcus Stavro, also in the starting midfield mix. They want to use their athleticism, the likes of James Tarrant and Dane Harvey and Sam Grant, some of the big bodies for the Big V today, and be able to close the exits from stoppage and disrupt the possession chains that the Western Australians will be employing. Ward, let's touch on the Perth Footy League. What are the keys to the game for them?
Look, probably that midfield battle is going to be absolutely huge. No difference to both sides there at the moment, but
Look for guys like Hinchcliffe, West, Smith and probably Hammersley through there just to try and get that ball moving. And when they do, it is going to be that quick ball movement to try and get inside 50. Once they do, some X-factor footballers in there in Furmark, Halligan and Gallen. So look, watch for those guys to be dangerous, but if they can get the game rolling how they can, they're going to be right in this game.
Let's get to pre-match records then. Daniel Harford, the coach of the Big V, and Blake Willem, the captain of the PFL.
Fantastic match here between the Big V and Perth Footy League. We're going to head down to the ground now, and our Master of Ceremonies, Dale Christie, is going to go through the pre-match presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the second game today at Sports Cover Arena at Elsternwick Park for Representing Football 2025. We welcome all players, coaches, support staff, officials, umpires and supporters, and thank you for your attendance this afternoon and also your ongoing enthusiasm for representative football. Today's match showcases the elite senior from the VAFA and the Perth Football League. With Perth currently holding the silverware after their WA last year. If you're able and willing, please stand and remove your hat for the Australian National Anthem. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your day.
For William Buck, a leading mid-tier firm of accountants and advisors with offices all across Australia and New Zealand, established more than 125 years ago. William Buck has over 125 directors and 950 professional staff focused on creating positive change for clients and in finding growth opportunities and solutions. This is the Big V taking on the PFL in the VAFA's centenary year of representative footy. Paddy Grinley, Simon Petch and Ward Harris with you. Simon Petch, welcome back to the commentary box. This should be a beauty.
Paddy, good afternoon to you and to the team, Ward and Hugo and Matt downstairs. Beautiful conditions for footy down here today, overcast and the sun's just gone behind cloud. Hardly a breath of wind out there. Never seen the ground look better down here at Elsternwick Park Sports Cover Arena, and we should be in for an absolute rib tickler. If 2 years ago was any barometer, because 2 years ago was a fantastic game down here, and hopefully we see the same again.
Sorry, Petchy, far too excited to talk through this one. Our first quarter coming up for Holmesglen, one of the largest providers of vocational education in Victoria, offering certificates and degrees across a range of disciplines. Hugo Higginbotham, you're back in the chair again after racing downstairs for some rather magnificent hosting, might I add. Wonderful job from yourself. You've had a good look at this Big V team over the course of the William Buck Premier season. What are you expecting?
Thanks, Paddy. Great to be here. Look, it's jam-packed with talent, Paddy. Every spot you look on the ground is a very accomplished player, but a couple of players you have to look at. The captain, Harry Hill, absolutely outstanding season. You know, you can't do more than captain your representative side, and he'll be leading from the front. I'd like to see a bit of midfield dominance, but another one, Campbell Lane, out on the wing. He'll be on the far wing. You know, he likes the far wing. He's always away from the crowd. Doesn't like the advice over the fence. And then we've got to talk about Tarrant up forward. You know, This is his day to shine. This standard of football will absolutely lift him and elevate him as well. And don't forget my favourite man, Campbell Moorfield down the back, who I dubbed 43 years old. The man's only 26, Paddy. What's going on there?
You've stitched him up deluxe there, Hugo. So the Vicks will be kicking to the scoreboard end of the ground in this first term. That's to the right of your picture. The guy to watch down there for me is Charlie McIsaac, who has promised us a specky. Of course, Simon Petch, he was the key player at this venue 2 years ago.
He sure was, and he certainly was instrumental in the VAFA's win in extra time.
Yes. And I think our lights have improved here at Sports Cover Arena since then. So if we develop into a similar situation, we won't be playing in the dark, which is great news. But just about set for a start here at Sports Cover Arena for the VAFA taking on the PFL. It'll be big Sam Grant in the middle, who's been rucking wonderfully for Old Scotch this season, up against Nash Miller, the 202-centimetre giant out of Fremantle CBC, who came through the South Freo Colts program, played a bit of reserves, and has been superb this year. 12 games, 5 goals for the big number 24 for the Sandgropers. Just about ready here to kick off the men's contest. It's Big V weekend. It's the centenary year. You're in the hands of Simon Petch.
Okay, so as Paddy said, the Ammo's down to the scoreboard end and Perth down to the Glen Huntley Road end, and Stavrou to Churgwin to Hill, and they get it out of the middle. Here goes Stavrou again, but the kick was intercepted. Stevens gets there. West now for Perth. Handball out wider here, and they go forward again. West has it inside defensive 45 and goes out wider here. And Brown takes the mark here for Perth. And then he's given it up, and Hill on the outer side of the ground's got it. First few seconds of this game. Stays outer side of the ground. And a good mark taken out there by McIsaac for the Amateurs.
Bit disappointing there, Petchy. He usually jumps over 7 people. It's just a standard mark in the air, just to getting his eye on, you think?
So 45 metres out from goal. Charlie McIsaac. He's kicked many goals from this angle before for the old Zabs, and he's looking at their first goal in the first minute of the game down here. Outer side of the ground, Nature Reserve side. He goes into goal, goal umpire goes across to the right, and a minor score. Scoring opens with the Ammos with the first point of the afternoon. They go into 1 behind 1 point. Perth Football League get to score here at Sports Cover Arena, and Perth about to kick the ball back in.
Our special comments today for Hit IQ as the Vicks through Stavro might intercept this across left half forward. The old Zavs co-skipper has the footy, kicks it towards full forward Harry Hill. He might open the scoring, he does. Or it's Jamie Hope rather. Got my Brighton boys mixed up, Hugo.
They look very similar, don't they?
20 goals on the season now, if you include that one on his season fixture for Jamie Hope. And the Vicks away first at Sports Cover Arena. We've played just over 90 seconds in this game of footy. They're 1-1-7. The Perth Footy League yet to go inside 50, yet to score, Hugo.
Well, we're going to see a lot of that today. What about Stavrou at half forward there? That intercepting mark got through the traffic, just that vision and that shoe. I want to see Stavrou and Connor West go head-to-head today. They've both got two fantastic heads of hair too.
Look absolutely sensational. Look almost alike if it wasn't the two jumpers out there. And I'm backing these Perth Footy League boys in. Watch them to come out of this next stoppage.
So first goal of the Emmos. Back into the middle. Grant won it down. Churgwin got it. Got it to Stavrou. Out of the middle they go again. Series of handballs towards the outer side. Kick away by Churgwin. Goes towards centre wing. Cap back in towards Stavrou. Now they go to Grant.
Here we go.
Now they go to Hill into goal.
There's the skipper!
There's another one.
Oh.
As quickly as you like. Harry Hill, the captain, kicks his first goal and the Ammo's second. They go into 2-1-13. Perth Football League get to score. That on the City Power scoreboard. And for Holmes Glen, we've gone just on 3 minutes in this first term.
Never wrong, Hugo, just early.
Oh, well, that's all right. Just noticed something though. After that clearance there, Ward has thrown his pen clear across the box there. He's got his Western Australian colours on early. He was unhappy with that. We're going to keep an eye on that today.
Yeah, I saw that out of the corner of my eye too. No barracking here, Ward, please.
Nearly took my eye out.
Definitely no barrack in the box here today, boys.
Oh, let's see what Nash Miller and the Sandgropers can do it. But it's again Harry Hill from the middle of the ground. The handball a little bit skew if intended for Churgwin. And now it's the first chance of Connor West. And he spreads that one towards right half back. Big tackle, McIsaac. Didn't stop the footy though from going through. Now pursuing it is Harrison Brown on the far side wing. And it's a long tumbling punt which Moorfield gets a fist to down at the Nepean Highway side. Big tackle laid trying to impose himself is Upson there of the Perth Footy League. And here they go inside 50. The kick is low. It's ill-directed. And it's chopped down by Louis Butler, and he is quick to switch the footy across to Kane Loftus out of the University Blacks this year, Simon.
So Hinchcliffe went forward, but a bad kick, and it ends up here with the Ammos. They go forward towards centre wing, mark taken just before the boundary line, and taking it for them here is Houghton. So centre wing, 2-1-13 the Ammos. Perth yet to score. 3.5, nearly 4 minutes played in this first turn. They go to half forward, and McIsaac has taken the mark. On commentary side down at half forward, 50 out from goal. He goes in towards the pocket. Up they go, and Harvey had it fisted away. And we'll have a ball in deep in the right forward pocket here for the Ammos, doing all of the attacking here, Ward, in this first term.
Look, they are indeed. It had an opportunity there for Perth Footy League. I think it's taking them a little bit longer to get used to the Sherrin than the Burleigh at the moment.
And what about the ground too, Ward? I know it's not as big as what you're used to over there.
No, it looks slightly shorter. It is a little bit wider than Bassendean over where we played last year, so an opportunity to make the ground big, which is what the WA boys need to start doing.
So off the ground, Smith takes the mark. Inside defensive 45. Scoreboard into the ground here for the Perth Footy League. He goes out wider here, and Dennis has got it. So Dennis marks inside defensive 45. Dangerously back across goal, but Perth keep possession here, and they'll bring it up towards centre wing with a kick, and West takes the mark out in front of the eyes. He had Stevens running for him. He just not sure where to go here. West, he'll go centre half forward, put the ball on its way, down towards half forward, fist away by Victoria there by Fennelly. It found out wider here, kick away there by Lane. He goes towards the boundary line, and it stays in. It just stayed in, and a kick up towards centre wing. And the mark taken by Dennis out there for Perth.
21 disposals to 11 in the opening few minutes. 4 inside 50s to 1. All thanks to Premier Data, who are doing their stats live for us today. Here's McGowan. So 13 playing zip. 5.5 gone in the first term, thanks to Holmes Glen, as Fulgrave comes up to meet this one. True neutral territory. This is where I'm interested, Ward, about how Perth are going to shift this ball ahead, because the high entries have been chopped down by the Vics. Long kick, a few fly out, and it goes all the way out the back. And this might be the opener. It is, in fact. And Braden Fermark gets the gold and black away first. He's got one. The Perth Footy League have one. It's a 7-point game of footy. They all flew it at Hugo Higginbotham, but he stayed down and reaped the rewards.
Well, I just counted. There was 9 of them there, and they all went, but they just didn't. They underestimated that ball coming in over the back there, and then it's a beautiful piece of bodywork there. Just got a little bit of space, and geez, you wouldn't want to miss that one, would you? They needed that one.
They did indeed, the Perth boys. And look, Braden Fermark, X-factor forward there. He's going to be one of those guys that the VAFA are really going to have to watch out, because he will get goal side, and he scores very quickly when he does.
Well, you did say that before we even got underway, that he was one to look at, and he's kicked their first goal of the afternoon. 13 playing 6. The Amateurs have the lead down here at Sports Cover Arena. Back into the middle again. Grant palmed it down. Stavru over the back and going nowhere, or falling over there was Seckle. In the middle of the ground here, Huggard head over the footy. Hughes goes with him. The umpire's blown the whistle and it's going Perth's way. They go into side half forward, down towards the forward pocket area, fisted away in the end there. Good fist by the defence of the Amos by Flockhart, and we'll have a ball in.
Just making a note, that was the VAFA umpire that did pay that free kick there as well, boys.
I saw WA on the side of that whistle. I saw that.
Jeez, this one is coming to.
It's a long broadcast,
We're
gents.
going umpires now. Thrown back at inside 45 for Perth. Hill got a handball out. Went to ground. Chance now for Perth, but in trouble. Dropped it. No, held on to it. Stavru ended up picking the pocket. Gave the handball out, and they go forward with a kick. Victoria up towards centre wing, and the mark taken here by Harvey. Now chasing it is Seagar. He wants it inside the 45-metre arc. He goes in that direction, Harvey, and Seagar has come out and taken the mark here for the Amos. Scoreboard side of the ground, goes into the pocket over everybody's head, and it goes towards the boundary line. Clinch made sure of that, and we'll have a ball in.
You could just see on that entry there with Big Tarrant coming forward, he had 4 Perth players just come in front of him. So obviously I would imagine that there's a bit of a plan there, that they know how imposing he is, and let's get in front of him.
Hugo Higginbotham here for us for Hit IQ as the ball is hurled back into play. The kick from the stoppage was initially smothered, and I dare say we'll have a repeat stoppage some 30 metres out from goal. 13 playing 6. The first 2 goals in the first 3 minutes for the Vicks. The Brighton boys, Hope and Hill, opened the account before Fermark a few moments ago opened the account for the Sandgropers, who are working it nicely here through left half back. It's a long punt. It's looking for Cody Smith, who's in a one-on-one with Moorfield. And the skipper of the University Blacks, Campbell Moorfield, puts paid to that foray down the wing, punches it out of play.
Well, they must really think highly of what's his name, number 17, Cody Smith, because he's got one of the best defenders in the competition there, Ward. So has he got a bit of talent, the boy?
Yeah, he does, and he's a bit of a bull in there as well, so watch for him to float around and really make an impact.
Geez, Miller at the bootlaces. That was nearly champagne footy through the contest. As slipping over there is Sam Flockhart. Starting on a wing today, Sammy Flockhart. Here's Campbell Lane. Back from his Europe trip, hands it off. Loftus goes inside 50. Hope's tracking this backwards. Harvey meets it. Hope's with him now. The handball is good. Seagar, 40 metres out, put the kick into the pocket. Could have had a shot. You'd think Geordie Seagar went for Barnett instead, out of play. Left forward pocket. Vic's lead it by 7, Petchy and Hugo.
Yeah, selfish.
Very unselfish. I would have kicked it.
I would have better go. Absolutely. He wasn't that far out, was he?
No. Just absolute team player, Geordie Seagar. And you have to be when you play for Brighton. You get dropped to the twos, you get up.
Thrown back in, deep left forward pocket. Miller at the back, palmed it down. Well, Stevens went through without it. Now a chance here, but no, a good tackle laid. And Hinchliffe takes the free kick here for Perth. Down inside defensive 45. Nature Reserve, end of the ground. He goes short. Well, it worked to McGowan. It does. He got around Barnett, went a short kick, and it worked, and it found his teammate there in Manzoni, who takes the mark here for Perth. Nepean Highway side of the ground to Stevens, but over his head or Churgman dropped what he should have taken. Goes back in underneath it and got it to Seagar, who got it back out, and away they go again here. The Amos through the middle. Loftus all on his lonesome. Long looping handball. Could be a kick here for them. Goes in towards the pocket. Will it sit okay? It does. Harvey has it, goes in towards
in the square.
goal.
There it is.
Marked. Tarrant's got it right in the last line here of defence for Perth, and James Tarrant has taken the mark directly in front.
The build-up there was excellent by the Vicks there, but Dane Harvey, that was an elite shoe. That thing didn't go about 2.5 metres off the ground, and he is the only B-grade player in this competition. So coming up from the lower division, he can handle himself really well at this competition.
So Tarrant kicks the 3rd goal of the afternoon. Amos go on to 3-1-19, leading the Perth Football League on 1. As the scoreboard comes back, we'll just await that. I can't even see that. 1 straight 6 to Perth. We've gone 11 minutes for Holmesland on the City Power scoreboard, and a 13-point margin here to the Amos.
Dane Harvey, of course, was on the plane last year as well and looked pretty bright ahead of the footy. Just struggled, I think, Ward, with the burly footy. The boy out of Fitzroy, who's played a bit of VFL for Carlton this year and is showing some serious improvement. He's one to watch, as is Sam Grant, who's got a sideways handball, and Brady Seckle. It's going to go on the outside. Harry Hill from 55 metres. McIsaac lace out. That is pure footy from the Vicks. And you'd think Harry Hill and Charlie McIsaac play together, such was their connection through the midfield and to full forward. McIsaac now with a shot at his first.
Well, that was all started by the ruckman there. Grant, you through the middle, contested tap, got it forward. He roved the ball then, got it forward, and then Harry Hill on the end of that. That's an imposing combination.
So he started brightly, McIsaac, one behind already. This a tough equation. The right footer has pushed it well too far. I think it's just snuck in for a point it has. So 3-2-20 the Vicks, one straight Perth. 12 minutes gone on the Holmes-Glen scoreboard, and we have a pretty exciting, heavy with scoring contest so far. Ward and Hugo, as Perth push it through the middle of the ground?
Yeah, look, it's been a really good contest so far. The VAFA obviously having the better of it at the moment. More disposals on the board, but look, their kicking efficiency, they're running at 82% at the moment, which is absolutely sensational. So, look, well done to the VAFA side as Perth trying to push up the field now.
Yeah, they sure do. Through West, who flung the handball out. Nepean Highway side of the ground they go. Getting a kick away is Ramshaw. Goes in towards the pocket. Fist away. Good one too by Butler for the Ammos, and it goes over the line out of play. We'll have a ball in. Deep in the right forward pocket here for Perth. Down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. Plenty of support down here for both sides down here today. Plenty of cars in the venue as well. 3-2-20 the Ammos, one straight 6 Perth, 13 minutes gone in this first term. Wow, Gallen that was, got the handball out. Now Loftus, big man, bent down, picked it up. Handball to McKenzie, missed him, but the Ammos defence work it out here, and Barnett has taken the mark just outside defensive 45. Commentary side Loftus kept running, he gave him the handball. Wasn't unselfish. Vanierson, handball. Fulgrave goes towards full forward for Perth. Moorcroft went up. He couldn't mark it. McKenzie. Handball Stavrou. Then he missed the handball. Has to go back here. And now the Ammos will work it out. Churgwin. Handball to Grant. They run through the middle. Hill a long kick. Goes down towards McIsaac in front. Fist away by Dennis. Now Stainsby's got it. He goes towards Fulgrave. Didn't bounce very well for him. Loftus. Got a kick away. Goes towards forward. But Dennis in front has taken the mark here for Perth.
Oh, Hugo just about blew a blood vessel there as Charlie McIsaac came up from behind. Morris of Perth, and they'll move it through Stevens. No, it didn't. West has had a stack of it early, and he's going to push it ever further. So now chasing it is Trent Manzoni, veteran of the PFL and of the Waffle, and goes over the top to Brown. Now the entry for the Sandgrope has Moorfield, too good. He was trying to attempt to push him underneath the footy from Furmark, who could smell his second. But Campbell Moorfield holds up strongly and then puts the kick out of bounds on the full, unfortunately for him. So lets himself down with the disposal as he searched for Flockhart. Perth with another opportunity from 80 metres out towards the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. Not much wind to speak of, which is not something you can often say, Petchy and Hugo, for Sports Cover Arena here at Elsternwick Park. Here goes the entry. Halligan's involved in a wrestle from 2 deep. Oh, is that Moorfield again?
Moorfield again.
He's on fire. Mark of the day contender for Sharon, the official footy of the VAFA. Campbell Moorfield is feeling himself today as the Vicks come through Loftus.
So Loftus gets it from Butler. Good mark there by Cameron. And they go backwards here. So still down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. Moorcroft has... Moorfield's got it again, and he'll stay out wider here, left footer. Outside defensive 45, Seager up, but at the back, got the free kick in front. So Seager's got it here for the Ammos. He goes towards centre wing, and a good mark taken there, Brown. Handball. Now they go forward again, Perth down towards full forward. Oh, nearly spoiling each other, two Ammos, but Mitch Hughes takes the mark and goes out wider here to Lane. So Lane's got it. 3-2-20 the Ammos, one straight 6 Perth. That on the City Power scoreboard for Holmes-Glen. Nearly 16 played in this first term, and Churgwin ends up with it. Inside defensive 45 down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground.
So the Vicks just happy to chip around the defensive half, and Lane's involved again as they find some space now with Louis Butler, who runs his full measure, kicks it as far as he can. Oh, big flying over the top there, looked like Flockhart, who went nowhere near the footy, and taking it away was Manzoni for Perth. They've having a really nice few minutes. Moorfield again. He might have held on to that one as well.
A bit of sympathy in that one, but he was in a very good spot for it.
Campbell Moorfield is dead set marking everything. 5.3 a game on the season. I reckon he's up to 4 or 5 already for Premier Data. Plus 13 disposals at the moment for the Vicks. Here's Hill. Drives it towards the edge of the centre square. Tarrant from 2 deep got a hand to it. Couldn't bring it down. Seckles around the place for the Vicks, as is Houghton. He's dispossessed. The umpire calls them to play, and Perth should be able to move it through. They're just a touch sloppy at the moment. Stavro was harried off the footy. The handball was askew. Stepping through was Loftus, who was classy and kicked it long inside full forward. Barnett's pursuing it for the Vicks. It'll be Perth, though, playing next to the boundary line. He'll be able to work it out. There's Dennis, the vice skipper. He's brought down, and he's gone. McIsaac again, who's been busy in the air and at ground level so far in this one in the Holmesland first quarter, and can put another one on the City Power scoreboard. The VAFA by 14 points, and he's had 2 shots on goal already, Charlie. He's opting to try and kick this one around the body.
Yeah, well, lots of daylight between those posts, Petchy.
Yeah, there is. Yep.
Would you be having a drop on? He's kicked that around the corner.
33 goals for the season for Charlie McIsaac. He's got 1 here at Sportscover Arena. 6 at this venue 2 years ago, Charlie McIsaac. He knows where the big ones are. 1 goal too early, and the Vicks going nicely. 4-2-26, leading Perth. 1 straight 6, 20 minutes gone. 20 points, rather, the margin in this game of footy. All thanks to Holmesglen, one of the largest providers of vocational education in Victoria, offering certificates and degrees across a range of disciplines. 18 minutes gone in this first term.
One thing that's apparent, Petchy and everyone, is that Perth really like it when Victoria plays that slow ball from halfback. Gives them a chance to set up. They do have a very good zone across the middle of the ground. They just don't handle the fast ball too well.
Back into the middle. Miller goes up. Grant got it down. West gets a kick for Perth. Inside 45. No mark taken. They charge out here. Huggard now got it off, and away go the Yamos to Fennelly, who goes to Stavru, and he marks. Commentary side just out to outside defensive 45. Good play there by Gallen. He chopped it off. Now a free footy here for Perth. They go into goal. That was a kick by Morris. It goes across the face, and out of play. We'll have a ball in.
Look, the boys from the Perth Footy League at the moment, they're getting a lot of the footy and bringing it forward. They're actually leading the inside 50 count now, believe it or not, boys. But look, their entries inside 50, apart from the one over the back, not much doing.
6 shots to 1 in this first term. 4-2-26 the Yamos. Perth on 1 straight 6. Down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. Deep in the right forward pocket, chance here for Perth to score. Thrown back in, granted the back got front Perth. No one really got a hand onto that one. Seckle had to get rid of it quickly. He did to Hughes. He gets held up, and we'll have a ball up inside defensive 45 here for the Amos.
I think Hughes would have to be leading the competition if having the ball in hand and giving it back to the umpire. He's at the bottom of every pack, isn't he?
Kick away there, into goal there by Smith, but he's missed. In fact, missed everything. No score out of that ruck contest. And the resultant free kick will go here to the Amos, and Seaton will take it.
Look, this is where it gives Perth a bit of an opportunity to try and set up there. Look, they really need to try and hem him in, but those inside 50s, they've got to make better use of them.
Gallen was important, and then the big bump from Fulgrave, and they'll work their way through Halligan. The Sandgropers trying to dodge his way around again. Gallen, he was under the pressure of Seaton, and now it will get locked beneath the legs of Anthony Seaton. And they'll force another stoppage inside the 45-metre arc, Hugo, which is what they've done well so far in this game.
Just a few little mistakes from the Victorian backs. Getting a little bit too confident, trying to be too cute. And some chances here for Perth.
Grant outbodied in the ruck. Smith spikes it forward. Wants a runner in the pocket. Stavro is ushered out of play there by Veneerson. And will be thrown in some 15 metres out from the PFL's goal. I like the look of Lockie Veneerson out of Kingsway. He's best on ground in a Colts Grand Final back in 2020 for Subiaco. Won the best and fairest as well. 2-time premiership player for Kingsways. It's hurled back in. Grant, front spot. Tapped it to the bootlaces. Stepping around and trying to snap was Veneerson.
That's a goal.
Now a flying shot, and it's through. Hinchcliffe with Perth second. A broken play, and they close to 14 points, the PFL. It was a pretty slow start. The first 3 minutes, not much to write home about, Ward, but since then it's been pretty good footy for your squad, I suppose.
Yeah, look, has been a lot better there. They're starting to win a bit more footy, and as we said, bring it inside 50. The pressure on the VAFA backline now has been exceptional there and making him pay. I did mention Hinchcliffe off air that if you let him get off the chain, he's going to be very dangerous. Much needed second goal for the Perth Football League.
Well, that all started from, I think it was Ryan Gallen, just that little bit of pressure over here in the pocket with Victoria being too cute. And then Victorian mids were so flat-footed around that stoppage there. Grant had to do the work himself, and a beautiful finishing goal. And that's one of your mids too, so watch out for him.
21 gone first term, and a goal there to Hinchcliffe and to Perth. Stevens head over the footy, got away from Hill. Now we've got a kick back into the middle of the ground. No mark taken. Huggard was there for the Amos. Now the ball comes out wider here for Perth. Inside 40. 45, heads over the footy. Good, well played there, Hughes. Got the kick, got the handball to Seckle, who goes for the kick. Out of play, and we'll have a ball in centre wing of Sports Cover Arena. 4-2-26 the Ammos. Perth on 2 straight 12. 21 and nearly 22 gone in this first term. For Holmes, Glenn thrown back in. Stevens head over the football. Now Furmark got a kick, smothered off the boot. Came back here to Seaton, who's brilliantly tackled. Brought to ground here by Ramshaw. Perth go forward again. Kick inside to Furmark. He couldn't mark. Fist away was good by Loftus, who got a handball from Lane to Stavrou. Wanting it was Huggard, but they elected to go further to Barnett. Huggard kept running, then messed it up, really. He couldn't bend down to pick it up. Now Perth come back. Veneerson. A handball. Upson into the middle. Now Stevens out from goal, goes in towards the 45-metre arc, and Furmark had to play on. Was it touched? Handball over the top. Fulgrave into goal for Perth.
That's a goal.
And it's got it. So Perth kicked their third. They go on to 3 straight 18. The Ammos on 4-2-26. Fulgrave's first goal of the afternoon, and that coming up at the dying stages of this first quarter.
Goal of the day nominee for GYG. Fast food athletes say yes to. I think a few sandgropers will be saying yes to that snap-on goal. So the Perth Footy League now closing to within 8 points. 6 scoring shots to 3, Hugo Higginbotham, but they are on top, it feels, in this game of footy.
Well, the last 7 to 8 minutes, their pressure has just gone through the roof. Victoria thought they'd have the easy run of it, just those forward handballs, and you saw that there. Huggard trying to come through, didn't hit that one, and Perth had set up well behind the ball, and they're starting to get that chain of hands going through the middle of the ground for some deeper entries, and dangerous spot, good goal.
26 plays 18. Vicks with the 3 of the first 4. Western Australians with 3 of the last 4. That's the equation at the moment as the Victorians go deep inside 50. Harvey nearly brought it down again in his bootlaces. Here's Charlie McIsaac. He's trying to get loose. He kicks it backwards, hoping for Barnett. It bounced fortuitously for him. He found Hill. Campbell Lane's on the outside. He handballs to Charlie McIsaac. It's a dicing kick that goes defensively, and Harry Hill, the skipper, does well to hold on. Now, this would take his absolute best, you'd think, for Harry Hill. He's at left half forward. The kick would have to be at least 52 metres. It's dead still out there. So no assistance, no hindrance. Hugo, you've seen a lot of Harry Hill this year. Can he do it from here?
I've seen him do this about 3 or 4 times this year. And it's this exact time when the side needs it, as a true captain will. Now, I hope I haven't done the curse.
Kick the second goal again, Harry Hill. Yep, he's left it far to the left-hand side.
Don't ever talk to me again when Harry Hill's kicking that, please.
Next time I'll chuck Ward under the bus.
Yeah, Ward, you talk about it, please.
27 plays 18. Vicks lead this one by 9 points.
So Willem's got the football. Nearing the end of this first quarter and stays inside defensive 45. Henriksen takes the mark, goes towards the centre of the ground. Fist away by the Ammos, goes back to Churgwin, who got a handball to Stavrou, who got it off here. They go forward again here through Houghton, into goal, and Harvey takes the mark in the right forward pocket here for the Ammos.
Geez, if you looked at that one, Petchy, it looked like Otten was winding up for the goal there, but he knew Harvey was coming out the back, and he's given him quite an easy shot on... Well, there's no such thing as an easy shot on goal. I won't talk about goals anymore. Maybe when Perth's kicking one.
Plenty of daylight here for Dane. 4-3-27, the Ammos. 3 straight 18. Perth Footy League, 25 gone in this first term for Holmes, Glenn, and Harvey, a deliberate approach. Drop punt, goes in towards goal with it, and a goal umpire had a good look.
He's got it.
And he's got it. So Harvey kicks their 5th. They go on to 5-3-33, leading the Perth Football League on 3 straight 18. That on the City Power scoreboard. And for Holmes, Glenn, we've travelled just on 28 minutes in this first term, and Harvey kicks his first of the afternoon.
Well, Victoria needed that because for 7 or 8 minutes there, it was all Perth. You know, they had that many entries, they were getting those forward handballs through. Victoria started to play a little bit slow, got the ball forward, and it is a dangerous forward line, that Victorian one. So the Western Australian boys have the work cut out down there today.
Yeah, look, definitely under the pump. You see McIsaac and Harvey there, both got really good hands and look super dangerous for the VAFA.
Lights on here at Sports Cover Arena as Grant tries to get through the middle of the ground. He's dispossessed. The umpire calls a free kick, and Stevens in the end thinking better of taking the advantage. Miller versus Grant looks to be a really compelling battle in the middle of the ground as the big man Miller goes sideways. They're well opposed, of similar heights. Sammy Grant, of course, buying his ticket pretty much to this game with a massive performance against Old Haileybury a few weeks ago. Hugo Higginbotham and Simon Petches. The Vicks win back the footy and Louis Butler's now got it. Neutral territory, commentary wing.
I think we called Grant into that game too, didn't we? We spooked him that hard. But anyway.
29 disposals, 24 contested possessions, 73 hit-outs that day for Sam Grant on his way to, I think it was a score nearly in the 250s.
There he is again.
Coming down
This is a dangerous
points.
kick.
That is a dangerous switch. Thinking better of the mark attempt was Seaton. He tries to bash it on. It didn't sit nicely for Lane, who's now after it, far side. He can bring this ball back into the corridor and finds Benny Huggett out of St Bernard's.
So, Nepean Highway side of the ground, the Yamos have footy in their possession. He goes in short there, Huggard to Lane, and he marks. Centre wing out of side of the ground. 5-3-33 the Yamos. Perth Footy League on 3 straight 18. 15 points the margin. 27 minutes played. Harvey goes up, fist away at the end by Clinch. Goes over the boundary line and will have a ball in. 8 shots to 3 sums up this first term.
Or does it feel like the Perth defenders are just a little bit small at the moment with how Dane Harvey's leading up to the footy?
Yeah, look, it might be a little bit undersized there. Look, Clinch is the one where they've got to sit there and probably put him on him, so it'd be interesting what Jackson Harwood does at quarter time.
Miller got it down, Stevens the handball, and now McGowan out for Perth. He goes towards centre wing with the kick. 2 Perth players fly with each other. And the marker's been brought down here by Miller, who looks to handball here to West. Now he goes back inside to McGowan, who kept running for him. Perth go forward. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground, but Hughes there. Furmark was out of position, and Hughes ended up taking the mark inside defensive 45. Dangerously brings it up the ground, straight up the middle to centre half back, and Seckle takes the mark and brings it over here. Commentary side here to Fennelly, and he marks for the Yamos to centre wing. Over the head there of Hope. Seagar ends up with it though. Handball back inside. Series of handballs. Flockhart dispossessed close to the boundary line. And as it kept in, Willem did keep it in. And will eventually have it over and we'll have a ball in. 5-3-33 the Yamos. 3 straight 18 Perth. We've gone 28 and a half minutes in this first term.
Yeah, look, better pressure by the Perth Footy League there, trying to get their way back into this contest. Interestingly enough, they've taken 0 marks inside 50 so far this quarter, so it just shows not making use of those inside 50s.
And 35 marks to 19, and there's another one to the Vicks. Charlie McIsaac's a long way from home, just dips the kick over the top. He can take his pick between Barnett and Lane. Neither really wanted the footy, so Barnett has to give it back to Campbell Lane, who's now got the opportunity to make a decision, and it's a good one. Campbell Lane's ball use has been first class all year for the Old Zavarians. He lowered the eyes magnificently inside 50, and he's hit a leading target. The Vicks with another opportunity. Looks like it's Churgwin who's going to have the shot, 35 metres out. Slight angle to deal with here, Hugo.
Paddy, you and I have called a lot of games that have had Campbell Lane in it this year. I've never seen him with so much space out on the wing. I think Perth, well, I don't want them to, but they should probably put someone out there. He's been very busy this quarter, Campbell Lane.
3 goals for the University Blues this year. For Darcy Churgwin, 1 for the Big V against the Perth Footy League, and that's how you want to finish. 6-3-39, the Victorians to 3 straight 18, the Western Australians. So after starting the game brightly, the Vicks, they finish well as well. They take a handy advantage into quarter time. We'll step away for a few moments. On the other side of this, we'll continue to hear from the coaches. It'll be Jackson Harwood inside the Perth huddle. You're with the Big V Centenary Year broadcast. It's the VAFA versus the Perth Footy League.
Okay, Blake, thanks for your time. Now, second year playing, first year captain of your competition, the Perth League. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, this ground lends itself.
Yeah, it does.
just swinging, and we're on. We got two in the middle, just running around onto no one. Yeah. Let's not roll back to grass. Let's fucking locate quickly as well. Yeah. Turnover. Cover off flat.
Yeah, nice. Other than that, I reckon after half time, that's, the pressure went up, and I felt like we were able to lock it in our front half for a while. Yeah. Obviously, we keep doing our snag, so
how are you feeling,
keep building on that.
It's hot, heat in the moment, isn't it? If we can, around the ground, if we can keep that ball on the ground, you've seen that there's 3 goals for basically on the ground play. Okay, so aerially around the ground, it's everywhere. We need to be able to get to them a little bit quicker, pair off, and actually impact that. We're a little bit too slow to react from offence to defence. All right, so make sure you really, there's a lot of interchanges happening. We've extended out the rotations. You get longer on the ground, and hopefully that settles us a little bit more.
How far were we?
Underage kind of level, with 16s and 18s a little bit. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's hasn't been something that's landed there yet. Cool.
Quarter time here at Sports Cover Arena. It's the VAFA 6-3-39, the Perth Footy League 3 straight 18. The goal kickers in that term, Hope, Hill, Tarrant, Harvey, and then Churgwin at the very death there for the Amos, McIsaac as well, and then single goal kickers also for the Sandgropers, Furmark, Hinchliffe and Fullgrove. 39 playing 18. Let's now get inside the Perth huddle. The coach of Jackson Harwood's been good enough to allow us our mic inside. Here's his address.
When we're coming inside 50, I said that pre-game, can't be landing it high. We're landing it right in the middle, 30 out for goal. It's not working. They're going to fold back off. They're taking their sticky hands. Yeah? They're sticky hands, which means 2 things. Lower eyes, okay? Let's honour the easier hitter. Honour the easier one. We're panicking too much, boys. Settle. Yep. Honour the easy one. Or if you're going to go high, you've got to land it in the goal square. Okay? We've got to get over that wave, okay? And then shoulders, boys, back shoulder. Where are we? Okay? Corridor from a CBD, it's too open. So wing it, you have to shut that off. I'd rather them come wide. If they come boundary, we'll live with it. When they've come corridor 3 or 4 times, it's absolutely fucking murdering us, okay? We need to get a chest at times and take the chill pill, okay? Just too much panicking though, boys. We're getting enough of the footy. We're back in the game though, yeah? Yep. Westy, your tackling pressure's been elite, mate, all right? Good, Westy. Moz, get up around the ground more. You've been really good up around the footy, okay? Cody, you're providing us a target, all right? We've just got to settle a bit more with ball in hand, lads, okay?
Let's go, lads.
Find an easy chest, even D50, and then we start the chain. Hey, it's a 3-goal game, right? And they're playing champagne at the minute, okay? We haven't roughed them up yet, okay? We've got to get a bit more clearance inside early, right? A little bit more owning the piece of the pie mids inside, okay? Let's get to fucking work, boys. Okay. No missed tackles. Let's get some forward half dominance. Let's get to work. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. That's it.
For some of the language that might have filtered through here. We're not done with checking with the coaches. Daniel Harford will join Cal Cummins in just a few moments' time as the Victorian huddle just breaks now. Before we get down, let's have a look at some of the key stats. The Victorians leading disposals 120 to 88, marks 40 to 19, but it's the Western Australians 11 clearances to 8 leading that one for Premier Data. So it's been a story really of winning the ball on the outside and being able to use the footy for the Victorians to date so far. We've seen them play with some real pep out of the half-back line and be able to use up those uncontested numbers and then find the ball forward to some of their big guys up front, the likes of McIsaac and Harvey and Tarrant. As we will get down now to Daniel Harford, who's the coach of the Victorian Amateur Footy Association. He's with Cal Cummins.
Half a lot to like in that opening term. What have you made of it?
Really strong at the footy. Around the contest has been awesome for us, and I reckon it's been the way we've tried to build the whole program, and they've executed beautifully in that first quarter. Got caught a few times in transition when we turned the ball over, but our ability to make the most of opportunities inside the forward half was pretty good. Didn't convert as I would have liked, a couple of chances, but it's a really rock-solid start.
Any immediate changes for the second term? Are you happy with the way things are?
No, we'll just keep it rolling as it is at the moment.
No worries. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks to Cal Cummins and Daniel Harford there. I want to get over to you, Hugo Higginbotham, and you too, Ward, because I'm interested in the address from both coaches. What did you take from Jackson Harwood, Ward?
Oh, look, obviously he's pretty animated out there at the moment. Lots of pressure on the Perth Footy League. There's probably plenty of positives out of that first quarter there, but they need to work on it a lot as they go forward in this game.
The second quarter for Holmes Glen. Here's Simon Petch.
Okay, Miller got it down. West got a handball. Hinchcliffe got a kick. For Perth goes out wide ahead to the P and Nature Reserve side of the ground. Lane ends up with it. Now Huggard gets it. They go forward here, the amateurs, up towards Harvey. Fist away. Now Perth regained possession through the middle. A handball to Stainsby. Wasn't real flash, but he was good enough to get it back anyway. Handball to Dennis. Goes back into the middle. The handball missed everybody. Stavrou coming through for the Ammos. Miller gets the football, but a free kick going Hinchcliffe's way. And he'll take it in the middle of the ground here for Perth. Bring it towards the commentary side. And Willem, the captain here for Perth, goes forward with a kick. Fist away there by Butler. Fell here to Barnett. Handball Churgwin. Handball back to Flockhart, who goes back into the middle of the ground. Handball marked there by Grant, who got it back to Churgwin. Had a good first term. Now Hill. He couldn't read it properly, the bouncing ball. He gets it back himself, really, as he follows it through. Then it ran away from him. Miller a handball. Veneerson back to West. He gets a handball out just in the nick of time. Now they go through forward, through Halligan, who got it back to Hinchcliffe. Perth a lot of the footy. He goes in towards the pocket, and Furmark has marked it on his chest on the outer side of the ground. And within the first minute and a quarter of this second term, Perth has shot at goal.
Yeah, look, first inside 50 mark for for the Perth Footy League for the game so far. But Hinchcliffe, the one, his ball use inside 50 is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, no, it was very impressive that, but the build-up was at 2. It was Harry Hill should have kicked that ball 7 times. He just couldn't get the handle on it, and then Perth didn't panic and just got that little errant hand forward and just the little things. Like so, the pressure that's lifted by Perth is get them back into this game.
Furmark knows this ground well enough. Played here 2 years ago. Goes into goal and kicked it. So Perth kicked the first goal of the second term. They go into 4 straight 24. Trailing the Ammos on 6-3-39. Furmark kicks his first goal of the second goal of the afternoon, and Perth kicked the first of the second term.
So, no, very good. Great start by Perth there. Maybe the couple of those bombs that the coach dropped in the address really hit home with the boys. But, look, that'll be disappointing for Half and the Vics there. You're just seeing that lack of composure through the middle of the ground. There was an excellent build-up there, so the signs are there. But this is going to go both ways, this one today, boys. We've got a good one here, I think.
What I liked from Jackson Harwood was the reference to roughing them up a little bit, which I'll be watching, I think, this centre stoppage with a particularly close eye as Grant holds off the leaping ruckman in Miller, then tried to find Stavrou at ground level. It's not particularly clean, and again, it's the Perth Footy League that come away with the footy. It ends up in the hands of Connor West, and that's a nice-looking kick. He lowered the eyes. Long-haired operator to long-haired operator. Here's Ryan Gallen. He's a kick and a half from goal. Long left footer, runs his around to the left-hand side, kicks it long to the line. The fist came from Sam McKenzie. Perhaps the kick a touch long from Gallen there, Ward. He didn't really give his forward an opportunity. It's through for Perth's first behind of the day. 25 playing 39.
Yeah, look, maybe the 45 threw him off a little bit there as well. He might not have thought to just drop it back a little bit, but normally a good user, he might have been able to actually kick it from there.
Come on, Ward. He was having a shot every day of the week.
Special comments for Hit IQ, Simon Petch.
So Moorfield kicks the ball back in. Hammos have possession. Harvey, handball Flockhart. 50 out from goal, handball Stavrou. And from their defensive 45, they work it to Butler, who goes to Lane out of side of the ground. The Ammos go forward to Huggett. He marks in front of Hammersley. Spins on a Thripney. Goes in towards Chirkman. He's had a fair piece of it in this game so far. Handball along the ground, back to Lane, got it up. Got it back here towards Flockhart or McKenzie out there. Butler it is in the end, is it? Yes, Louis Butler, and he gets up and will have the ball thrown in the air. Centre wing, Nepean Highway side of the ground here at Sports Cover Arena. Miller over the back, got it down to Hinchcliffe, got there first. Manzoni a kick around the body, goes high up and under. Butler flew in, couldn't take the mark. It fell to ground here. Veneerson got a handball to West. Perth go forward again. Mark taken here by Halligan. He charged out and took the mark right in front of the eyes, right at the 45-metre arc.
Well, that was interesting, that one. I'd love to see the clearance stats at the moment, if you can get them up for us, board, because I don't think the Vics have won one in this quarter. We're down, so down by 2. So that's telling, and we've got a stacked midfield in there. But I've just been noticing, they're all running forward to the ball. They're leaving the gate open for Perth to come through.
So Halligan for Perth's second goal of the quarter. 6-3-39, the Ammos, 4-1-25 Perth to the scoreboard, end of the ground again. He's missed to the right. It's only a minor score. 4-2-26 Perth, 6-3-39 the Ammos. But Wade, we can see Perth really putting the foot down here early in this second term.
Yeah, definitely right. I was about to write that in the budget. I was that confident on Kyle Halligan. Didn't want to give him the commentator's curse, but it didn't matter anyway.
What's the budget?
Must be something we have in Perth, mate.
He's confused. A little bit of crossing wires, cultural differences for our man Hugo. Tarrant through his hands, lanes at ground level. He tries to get the handball away. He's dispossessed. And again, it's the Perth midfielders just forcing their way through at the moment. So Hugger just wants to impose himself at ground level, lays a big tackle. And it comes the way of the Vics. Churgwin to Stavro, who broke the first tackle. The handball was a little bit loopy in nature as he looked for a teammate. Huggett involved again in the chain. Lane's on the outside. Seeger's just going to hand it ball to Campbell Lane and let him fly inside 50. It's a balanced kick to Stavro. The boundary line might beat him. And a big bump laid out by Dennis, who's certainly got that in the kit bag. We saw that, Ward, in the corresponding game last year out at Bassendean. A big hit on Nathan Boucher, I think it was, as we see that one on replay. Gets the footy out of bounds.
Yeah, look, good work there by Sammy Dennis. Probably been got touched up in that first quarter a little bit by the VAFA forwards there, so he needs to get back in the game, and a big bump like that will do it.
Hill a handball, Churgwin again, West on hands and knees. Now Grant handball, Lane lost it. Good tackle laid on him by West, and it gets held up and we'll have a ball up 55 out from the Ammos goal, attacking to the Glen Huntley Road end in this second term. 39 playing 26. The Ammos have the lead. 9 shots to 6 for the game so far. Seeger, 48 out from goal. Squares it up in towards Isaac. He dropped it, didn't take the mark. Came back here towards Hope, who goes towards Harvey. And Harvey takes the mark in the left forward pocket.
Well, there's probably
Luck's
not
a fortune.
It is. He's had a bit of it, Harvey, but there's probably not a better player kicking the ball into your forward line than Geordie Seeger too. That one into, I think he even surprised Mick Isaac. You know why? It was a chest mark. It wasn't on top of someone's shoulders. That's why he didn't take it, but they need this one, the Vicks.
So Harvey looking at his first goal of the second goal of the afternoon, and the Ammos 7th. Directly in front, puts it on its way, he's missed it.
Well,
I'll leave that to you. 6-4-40, the Ammos, 4-2-26, Perth, and an easy miss there by Dane Harvey, who we normally just see as an absolute sharpshooter in this competition.
For Premier Data, gentlemen, sorry, Ward, to cut you off. I just had a look at the quarter by quarter. 3 clearances to zip at the moment in this term for Perth. Ward?
Oh, I was just going to say, he just tried to kick through it too hard. He wanted to send it onto the Nepean Highway and get that ball out of here.
Big pack of players right in front of our commentary booth as Stevens is tackled to the deck, and some by Grant. And this will be thrown in. Hinchliffe in to just resolve tensions a little bit. Did I read that Clint Hinchliffe played for the Melbourne Stars a few years ago? He's a left-arm leggy.
Yeah, he was a Perth Scorcher, Melbourne Stars. Actually, quick one on him. He probably should have gone in a rookie draft back probably 10 years ago. Ended up missing out on the draft. Went to the National Under-19s Cricket Championships. Got player of the tournament. Ended up with a whacker contract a couple of months later.
So what you're saying is that he's chosen the wrong career in sport because he doesn't seem to be much good at it. It's outstanding dual sport athlete is Geordie Seeger again out of Old Brighton to Mick Isaac, who looked to clock a little bit of a high one. The umpire said play on. Seeger now has Stevens for company. It's Willing inside, isn't it? Hills after the footy, and through go the Perth Footy League, who've just been impressive. Stepping around the tackle there was Harrison Brown. He kicks as far as he can manage. They'll all fly. Moorfield's there. They didn't get near it. McKenzie slapped it to his University Blacks teammate Moorfield, and now Butler. Calmer heads will prevail. He waxes with McKenzie, runs himself into a dead end. Louis Butler then picks out Harry Hill down the line. They resolve that magnificently, the Vicks.
Commentary side, down at half back. So all the work done here by Perth. They've had a good start to this second term. McIsaac fourth in line, brought it to ground. Here's Stevens in front of the pack. Now he gets away. Picked off by Hill. Handball back to McIsaac, and they go for it again. Hotton for the Ammos, down to Harvey. Good mark taken in front of him. Terrific mark by Henriksen, who goes across the face. Dangerously, it opened up, then it shut. Now, Willem was there, now going through McGowan, gets the kick. A kick towards centre wing. Moorfield stands his ground. Handball back here, and they go forward again. Do the Ammos, but Isaac down to half forward. But no mark taken, and Stainsby ends up with it here for Perth. or clinch it is, for Perth.
Really poor entry there by McIsaac there. He had 3 options that were easier. He's gone for the hardest one with the player behind. So anyway, that's frustrating. He should stick to taking the marks and kicking the goals, I think.
Hugo Higginbotham for hit IQ as Dennis went to Henriksen, and that's a better kick from Henriksen down the outer side wing. And now Perth just looking to take some sting out of their forward ball movement. So it's going to be a short pass over the top. And that's Halligan, who's an exciting player. Sends a kick on the bounce to Hinchliffe, who will do the entry on the left foot. It's a high up and under. Caught behind was McKenzie, and that's a good grab in the end. Blake Morris it was. And he's going to have a shot at the Perth Footy League's 5th. And to close the margin back to single digits, Ward and Hugo.
I'm going to try and help the Vics out here. Well, what do you reckon he'll kick this?
Blakey Morris, a Kingsway local. Look, he should be a pretty good kicker goal here. I was surprised he took that mark. Sometimes the hands, he can go through the hands a little bit. So, look, well done by Blake Morris and a much-needed goal.
There you go.
Perth Footy League.
He was pretty quick on the runway, Blake Morris. Just turned around and put it over the goal umpire's hat. 5-2-32 now, the Perth Footy League. 6-4-40, the Vics. They've closed it back to within 2 kicks. The gold and black, and are looking pretty nice, especially between the arcs, Hugo and Wardy.
Well, Vics aren't helping themselves at the moment. They're overusing the handball and turning over by hand. And then Perth have a really good run through the front of the stoppage or the front of the congestion, and the Vics are giving that away every time, and they've got numbers there. So Vics have to do something about that, or probably don't be as cute with a handball, Petchy. Those little ones around the corner, they're no good.
A 21-point lead to the Amos at quarter time. They're whittled down to 8. In this second term, Churgwin out of the middle, and he's looking for someone to run past. Hughes was standing still, gave it to him. Kick towards centre half, forward up they go. Fished away by Stainsby, fell to ground here. Ball on the deck, Dennis tried to get it out. He did eventually. Now it's a loose footy back towards Clinch, who fell over, got a handball here, and getting it clear is Stevens. Got a kick, bad kick. Barnett ends up with it. He'll spin around and go back in towards goal. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. He goes to full forward and no mark taken. Ball hit the deck. Clinch picked it up, got the handball out. Oh, gee, nearly messing it up there was Upson, but he was happy enough to get the handball out now. Hinchcliffe got it over the top, and Perth go forward towards centre wing, but Moorfield chops it off centre wing out of side.
For Authorsport Victoria, Sam Flockhart with the left knee being helped off the ground. He cannot put any weight on it whatsoever. That looks really nasty for Sam Flockhart. Oh, fingers are crossed for him. We'll get down probably to our boundary riders for an update. He cannot put any weight on that knee as Tarrant inside 50 had 9/10 of it and has been paid the mark by the man in green as we see Flockhart helped off, shaking his head. Oh, that's a shocking story for the young man out of Old Brighton who made Richmond's VFL list this year and has played a couple of games. I'm hoping that that's just a precautionary helping off the ground for Sam as he heads into the dugout. Meanwhile, James Tarrant's got a tricky equation from the right half forward flank beneath the light towers here at Sports Cover Arena. On the approach now, the right foot drop punt is well skinny and out of bounds on the full. Vics 40, the Perth Footy League 32. Hugo, we've seen a bit of Sam Flockhart this year. He's a versatile player. Now that he's down, let's just assume that he's out at least for the rest of this quarter. What can the Vics do to adjust?
Yeah, well, I think you've got plenty of options to roll up onto that wing, which he was playing, but we're going to miss his height a little bit. He's a tall lad and he plays really well around the ground.
Gee, McGowan to Halligan, he missed it. One up that mark, and the umpires picked out a free kick going Barnett's way.
We'll take that.
Sam will take this one just outside the 45-metre arc. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. 40 playing 32. The Amos have the lead. 13 and a half minutes gone. Second term. And the mark was drilled into centre half forward, and Hotton has taken a diving mark on his chest.
That's a right arm outswinger from Barnett. I don't think he hit that exactly as he desired, but all's well that ends well. And wouldn't this be a story for Ollie Hotton, who's having to jump in an Uber and jet his way over to the MCG to watch Taj Hotton make his debut in a couple of hours?
You blokes watching, I reckon that went through Miller's legs. He clean bowled him.
So Hotton in front of goal, looking at his first of the afternoon, the Amos 7th at the Glenn Huntley Road into the ground. No breeze to speak of down here today at Sports Cover Arena. Puts it on its way, does Hotton, and
very
he
good.
kicked it. So he kicks his first of the afternoon. The Amos kick their 7th. They go on a 7-4-46. Perth Footy League on 5-2-32. That coming up at the 14-minute mark of this first term for Holmes Glen on the City Power scoreboard.
So I'll be interested to see what happens with this clearance, because the Vics have been very poor at the clearances so far. They're leaving that gate open for Perth, and Perth have played really well. I mean, the Rucks are probably going 50-50 for hit-outs, but I'll be really curious to see. And obviously that man, who is it, West, he's very big around the middle of the ground. So let's just see what happens here.
We might try and have a look at the injury replay for Sam Flockhart where we can. We're hoping to track down where he's done that knee injury. As meanwhile, the Vics go through the middle of the ground. The kick was from Seckle. It bounced around at the arc of 45 metres, where it will be tied up. In fact, now a free kick going the way of the Perth Footy League, and they're quick to move at this side, although the lunging tackle did affect the kick. It just couldn't be taken cleanly by Loftus, and the opportunity dissipates. Hill will now have to do the tackling on McGowan and holds him up effectively.
Oh, he's played high.
In fact, a high contact. So McGowan, and quick to pop it over the top. Wants Stevens running back into space, and he's got numbers streaming forward. Does Caleb Stevens a lead out of full forward? That might be an inch perfect kick towards Halligan. What a spoil in the end. Looked like Fennelly out of full back, who went full length as we have a look at this injury for Sam Flockhart, who went down. Oh, that doesn't look great at all. It went straight to the left knee.
Yeah.
Didn't look like a lot of contact involved there, Hugo and Wood. We've got our fingers crossed for Sam Flockhart.
No, they look innocuous. And they're the worst ones, Paddy, the innocuous ones. Frustrating.
Thrown back in inside 45 here for Perth. Now the Ammos work it out. Hughes goes out wide ahead to Lane. Plenty of space to work in. Goes a kick to McIsaac. Should mark, and he does. Centre wing. Commentary side of the ground here at Sports Cover Arena. 7-4-46 the Ammos. 5-2-32 the Perth Footy League. 16 gone in this second term. McIsaac high kick to Harvey. Oh, he had it fisted away there by Clinch. Ball hits the deck. Players wanted. Here's Stevens for the Perth Footy League. Around the body, back towards centre wing, and a Gallen. Had it fisted away in the end. A handball back here towards McIsaac, close to the boundary line.
I reckon he's kicked it out of bounds on the full, McIsaac. No?
And the umpire says ball it in, will have a throw-in.
Good decision by the umpire there. They never get it wrong.
Right place, right time, I reckon. It's interesting, both ruckmen are playing back behind the ball at the moment. Latter stages of this second quarter, just trying to protect each side's ground there.
Grant got it down, Stavrou went through. Miller got a kick, goes out towards Hughes. Bouncing ball away from him. Now Hammersley was there, but getting first was Seaton. Seaton there for the Ammos, goes out wide ahead to Loftus. Ball bounce in front of him, and Fulgrave got a handball back to Barnett. Goes out wider here again to Loftus. 55 out from goal, in towards the pocket. Hill from 45, goes towards full forward, and Harvey, Stevens dived in and took a great mark in the last line of defence here for Perth.
Yeah, great work there by Stevens to work all the way down, because Harvey running back into goal, following the flight of the footy, is not a position you want to be in as a defender. So 46 plays 32, 17 and a half gone in this second term, all thanks to Holmesglen. On the City Power scoreboard, it tells a story of early Victorian dominance. The West Australians working their way back into this contest as Hammersley goes for a run. Puts it out nice and wide. Gallen inside 50. Halligan all by himself. And Kyle will go back from left half forward for a chance to kick his first.
Gee, all the work Perth have done here, Wade, they deserve to be in front, but they're just not in front.
You're exactly right there. Some of the ball movement when they do get the opportunity has been good. They've held the VAFA in and caused turnovers in their forward half there as well. And look, the extra marks inside 50 now. Probably need a bit more reward on the scoreboard.
Two-time premiership player with Kingsway, Halligan. 49 games for Subiaco in the Waffle as well. He's been a fixture in the Perth Footy League for the last couple of seasons and a fixture in their state side. Kyle Halligan.
Oh, he's kicked that.
Put it in the book. 46 plays 38 on the City Power scoreboard. And the Perth Footy League just making a run here at the Vics. They just can't get within that 8-point margin, but they're close.
I'll tell you one player who's been huge for Perth. I don't think he's taken all of those intercept marks. It's Caleb Stevens. He's so strong as well. He's been everywhere, and the Vics just can't tackle him. He's right place, right time. You know one good thing at the moment? He's on the bench. He's having a rest. Maybe we can get back in the game. Jeez.
Well, they have put Clint Hinchcliffe back in the middle there, so look for a bit more of that stoppage dominance coming up. But I've actually liked the big fellas at either end of the ground. The number 15 for Perth in Jacob Henriksen has been absolutely sensational. And look, number 21 in Campbell Moorfield as well for the VAFA.
Yeah.
Both those backs absolutely sensational today.
Thrown back up in the air by the umpire. He's picked out a free kick going Perth's way. And Smith will take it here for them in the centre of the ground. Rather hard in there today. Hasn't been really watered for the game, and West ends up with it centre wing here for Perth. They trail by 8. They trail by 21 at quarter time. They're coming back at the Amos in this second term. A kick towards the forward flank. No mark taken. Veneerson, a kick off the ground. Well, it nearly worked there to Morrissey. He just couldn't reel it in. Moorfield behind him, and we'll have a ball in.
Well, you've got to thank Fennelly for the Vicks at the moment. He's just stopping every entry that they've got, and he's playing a lone hand. Him and Moorfield down there, so they're working well, and they need to be at the moment.
So another dangerous position here for the Sandgropers. Grant over the top had the height advantage in the ruck contest.
There he is.
Here's West. He went for the kick and just forgot to throw his boot at it. And Mackenzie for the Vicks will kick it out of a dangerous place.
Oh, there he is.
It's a free kick going the way underneath him. So it won't be paid a mark. Tarrant will get the free. I'm not quite sure if Charlie held on to it.
Oh, let's just say he did.
So Tarrant, after all that, from right half back, goes into the corner. What a kick that is, you're right. It's marked by Churgood, who barely had to break stride amidst 3 Perth players to Hill to Harvey. He's 50 metres out. He's got a long leg at him, Dane Harvey. McIsaac leads into the pocket. Seagar, one better than that. Takes the ball in play. Right foot step.
There's a go.
He's missed to the left-hand side. It's a close run thing. Gentlemen, let's get down to the boundary. Cal Cummins has an injury update, all thanks to Author Sport Victoria on Sam Flockout.
Yeah. A quote from him. I heard it pop.
Yep, that's not good news for Sam Flockout, hearing a pop in that knee. So, well, there's no way to really mix that, Simon Petch. That sounds like horrible news for the boy out of Old Ruck.
Yeah, sure is. Straight up the middle hitter. Morris, he traps the ball inside the centre square. 7-5-47 the Amos, 6-2-38 Perth. We've gone 21 minutes in this second term, and Perth making all the running, but they just haven't hit the front yet in this second term. Grant palms it down. They go to ground. Now, Hinchcliffe over the chop, trying to break a seat and tackle. He won't do so. Once again, we'll have a ball up, Wade.
Yeah, look, there might be another one to look at. I saw Ryan Gallen from the Perth Footy League hobbling off as well a little bit earlier, so might be one for the boundary riders to have a bit of a look at there as well.
Grant got a down man's only a handball. Now Seckle got a handball hit of Seagar, who goes towards the boundary line. Seckle got it back and then thrown out of play. Hotton, he didn't have the footy. Surely a free kick going his way. Advantage paid. Goes towards Harvey. And he takes the mark inside 45 here for the Amateurs.
Not a bad 1-2 punch down there when you got Harvey and Tarrant down there, but Harvey's been very busy this quarter. Look, questioned some of his kicks earlier. That little entry to Geordie Seager should have been hit up now, but with this distance, I would back him in for this one. Oh, God, I've said it
you've
again.
done it again,
Oh,
Hugo.
no.
And he's right beneath us. I reckon he heard you.
I've got to stop doing this.
So 1 goal to Harvey for the day so far.
I might throw it at him.
Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. No breeze to speak of. Lights on here. Ground in really good order today for a shootout, really. And here's Harvey from about 46 metres. Smothered off the hands of the man on the mark. Play on, says the umpire. McIsaac ends up with it anyway.
Well, I don't know how McIsaac did that because he kicked it straight to the West Australian bloke, but that's what McIsaac can do. He's such a dangerous player. But I just have to stop talking about Victorian blokes when they're kicking on goal. What am I doing? I'm going to sit in the corner for 5. Just cool down.
No one asked you. You tipped yourself in, Hugo.
It's been the story of my whole life. Paddy.
Well, close to the man on the mark. Like, give yourself a chance. 8-5-53. The Yamos after that McIsaac goal. Perth 6-2-38. Back out to 15 points. That on the City Power scoreboard, and for Holmesley, we've gone 23 minutes in this second term. Ward.
Yeah, and look, I just looked at that replay there. It confused the Perth defence, that touch boot. Stainsby went, I didn't know what to do with this footy. Went it straight down to McIsaac and a simple goal for the VAFA.
James Tarrant into the ruck for the Vic, so that's the adjustment with no Sam Flockhart as Hill to Houghton over the head. Fancy stuff. Loftus, he was a little bit too gentle on the kick that went inside 50. And as such, the Perth Footy League, through the agency of McGowan, spread it out to Fulgrave, and they're out over the top as well. Kobe just needs to look up. Kicks it deep inside 50. Moorfield's eaten these today.
Mark.
He won on that occasion. Floating across the front. It was Blake Morris. He puts it to a dangerous position. Halligan goes diving after it, and it'll be reprieved by the umpire's whistle. And he'll have a shot at his second of the quarter from directly in front.
But the disappointing factor there was he wasn't held up after the mark. You know, it's a good mark, fair enough, but the players around him just didn't slow him up, and then he got that little kick to event. And Campbell Lane couldn't do anything there. He just had to sort of jump because, you know, well, I'm never going to say Campbell Lane should have done something else because I love Campbell Lane.
I know
He's
how
such a
much
good
you
player.
love Campbell Lane. So Halligan.
He shouldn't have given away that free kick, though.
And 1 in the quarter already. Kicked the last goal for the Perth Footy League. This is a goal-to-goal game of footy, full of highlights. Kyle Halligan has got a couple. I reckon put on a cup of tea at halftime and just settle in for the back end of this one, because this is going to be a beauty. It has been from go to woe so far. The only negative part is that injury to Sam Flockhart so far, which we assume will probably see his day finish early after the pop that he felt in his left knee. But Halligan, he's got his beak into the contest. He's got a couple. 44 playing 53 Ward for Hit IQ.
Yeah, look, and we mentioned at the start of the broadcast there, those X-Factor forwards there. Furmark's now kicked 2, Halligan's kicked 2. Probably should have had the third one there as well. So a real danger and something for the VAFA to look at. And the stoppage work really starting to come to the fore as well. So plenty to think about for both sides at halftime.
4-2 to 2-2 in favour of the Perth Footy League in this second term. So they've had a fair bit of it. Veneerson, handball, Hinchcliffe, handball to McGowan. It ran away from him. He went down, picked it up, got it to Stevens. Handball out wide ahead to Fulgrave, close to the boundary line. Commentary side, heard the call back inside. Hinchcliffe, a left foot kick, worked okay. Mark taken here, and Veneerson goes back inside the corridor. Good mark taken. Miller heard the call. McGowan gave the handball, kicked a full forward, and the mark taken here. And is it Morris that's got it? He's got it here for the Perth Footy League, looking at their 8th goal of the afternoon. Smith, is it? Okay, Smith's got it for Perth, and he's looking at his first goal of the afternoon. And Perth's 8 to peg the margin back to 3 points down at the scoreboard end of the ground. Smith will run to 45. It'll be a drop punt. He's virtually straight in front. No breeze to speak of. Drop punter will go on its way off the side of the boot and will miss everything. No. Snuck in for a minor score. Perth go on to 7-3-45. Ammo's on 8-5-53. That on the City Power scoreboard, we've gone 26.5 in this second term.
Well, it's about time they missed Ward, but Perth have a really good knack of finding a spare one forward of the ball when they win that turnover, or the Victorians make a mistake with it. So Victorians bringing too many to the contest at the moment, and Perth holding one out, and they're just using that every time. That's their avenue. It's really good. It's impressive.
214 disposals to 167 in this game of footy so far. Decent differential owned by the VAFA, who've also taken 15 more marks. But around the clinches, as you mentioned, Hugo, it's been the Perth Footy League. Fulgrave goes deep inside 50. They all go for a fly. The Vic's under siege. Moorfield head over it. He's brought down. Halligan's got control of the footy. Put it out wide. A flying snap towards goal that falls to the wrong side of the post for Kyle Hammersley. But the Perth Footy League pushing so hard now. 7-4-46 to 8-5-53. The margin back to 7 points, as that's marked just inside the field of play for the Vics as they go out of full back. Simon.
Well, the defence of the Ammos have been put under pressure. They've done a great job. Perth haven't hit the front yet. Kick towards centre wing. Miller sets himself in front. Grant, ball hit the deck. Hotton there, grabbed by Miller. Got rid of the footy. Fulgrave fell over. Close to the boundary line, Stavrou. Well done, got a kick in the end eventually. Goes towards centre half forward. Siren goes. As the Ammos were going forward again in this second term. But that quarter goes to Perth. They really piled it on in that term. They kicked 4 goals 4 to the Ammos 2 goals 2. 4-4 to 2-2. And at half-time, the Ammos lead 8-5-53 to the Perth Footy League 7-4-46. McIsaac 2 for the Ammos and Furmark 2 for Perth.
We'll get down to Matthew Donald, who'll have a chat with one of the Victorians on the way off the ground. Before we do get downstairs to Matty with the Vics 53, Perth 46. The question for both our special comments men for Hit IQ. I'll start with you, Hugo. Who would you rather be going into half-time? Because it feels like Perth has the momentum.
No, look, I'd rather be the Vics at the moment. They made a lot of mistakes there. They're using the ball a little bit too much and causing their own problems there. And Perth really lifted. They had a look at the Vics and said, right, where are they getting it? They're getting it at the source. So they're putting pressure on the ball carrier, and it's causing that turnover. But I think the Vics can settle down a little bit. They'll get in top.
Let's get down to Matthew Donald, who's got the skipper of the Big V, Harry Hill.
Are we good to go, guys?
Well, Harry, it was a great first half, but they fought back a bit in that second term.
Yeah, they did. Credit to Perth. Hot start from our boys. I thought we were pretty good in that first quarter. Probably overused a little bit in that second term, and a few costly errors, and they caught us on the turnover. And quality players, when you get a one-on-one in either forward line, you back your forwards in. So probably got to wrestle back a bit of the momentum, get back into around the source, and get on top in this second half, and hopefully we can get it into our forwards and give them another chance.
So just being a bit more decisive in that second half is going to be the key for you then?
Yeah, I think so. I think we overused it a little bit. Probably that one extra handball. We should have just probably penetrated and got the ball in deep. And but yeah, hopefully we'll fix that up at half time and get onto that in the third quarter.
All right, I'll let you go. Best of luck in the second half, Harry.
Thank you. Cheers.
You, Donald, there. Let's go to our half-time break, gentlemen. It's the VAFA 53 leading the Perth Footy League 46.
Welcome back, one and all, to Sports Cover Arena. It is half-time in the match between the Big V and Perth Footy League men's competition in this representative match, and it is the Big V who hold a 7-point advantage at the main break, 8-5-53 to 7-4-46. I'm Matthew Donald. I've got Hugo Higginbotham with me. Hugo, really a tale of two halves in that first half. It was a great start by the Big V, but then Perth fighting back in that second quarter.
It certainly was, matey. I think one telling thing was you could see the pressure from the Perth side lift. They adjusted to the ground, and look, the Vics, to be quite honest, overusing at some stages, which has probably been a bit telling. I think they've had about 25 or no, probably 40 more possessions than Perth. Perth very efficient. Perth have been very good at intercepting at half-back and then transitioning through the ground. Very impressive. It's a great game we've got here today, Matty.
So we were just seeing some of the highlights there in that first half. A really entertaining first half. Both teams having their paraches where they were on top in the contest. What did Big V have to do to try and get the game back on their terms in the second half? Because really it was Perth in that second quarter.
No, you're right. I think Big V have to stop overusing the ball. Look, the clearance numbers are quite concerning for Victoria. It's outstanding by Perth in the middle of the ground. So the Vics can just calm down the middle of the ground a little bit, try and win one or two clearances. But it's when Perth get the ball on turnover. They've always got to play it forward of the ball, which the Vics need to attend to. But Perth just keep doing what they're doing.
And, well, it'll be a terrific second half. I really am looking forward to it, Hugo. And we've got a very special guest with us at the main break. He's a man who's basically done it all as far as the Big V is concerned. He's a player, a selector, and a president at times in his career in association with the Big V. And it is Bruno Conti. Bruno, welcome to the broadcast. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you.
I mean, in terms of the 100 years, it's a day of historical significance for the Big V. For you personally, what does today mean?
Oh, the games are always tremendously exciting for the people that were involved many years ago, for the people that remain involved today. I mean, today I've got 3 friends whose children are playing. You know, two are playing in this main game, Jed Fennelly and Sam Grant, and we had Katie Hunter-Scott playing in the curtain raisers. So amateur football has this unique way of bringing a lot of people together. I mean, everyone knows someone kind of associated with amateur football. So the tradition of the Big V is enormous. That came out really strongly on Thursday night, which was a fantastic event. And, you know, I dare say the players who were there on Thursday night would have understood the significance of putting on the Big V. So it's always been an exciting game of football. Standard lifts, players are taken out of their comfort zone, you know, not about being the big fish in the small pond. You've got to be a good teammate. It's always great to watch how people react to that.
You mentioned the gala. We're just seeing some scenes from Thursday night now. A huge occasion again, obviously a big year for the VAFA, the centenary celebrations. A really great occasion on Thursday night.
Fabulous. I'm not sure if it came out Thursday night, but I reckon the VAFA invented the big white V, created the big white V. I think the AFL followed on from that. So Thursday night was fabulous. I think the history of this organisation came out very, very strongly. 500 people there. It was perfectly organised. The panels were fabulous. The only downside was you didn't get enough time to meet a lot of people that you met on the journey. So it was a great occasion, and I have no doubt the players would have walked away feeling a little bit taller, knowing that they were about to play for the Big White V.
And in terms of this match, we saw how great the Big V players were. They burst out of the blocks in the opening term. But Perth fought back in that second term, and we've got a really good game on our hands. How have you seen it, though, so far?
I think the best game of amateur football at rep level I saw was 2 years ago, Victoria against WA here. The lead changed several times, and there was a period in the first half where Victoria dominated. And so I didn't think the start to the game was going to necessarily reflect the way the game was going to unfold. Perth will put up a good performance, and I think we're going to have a contest right to the end.
Well, Bruno, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a quick break here at Sports Cover Arena. It is half-time. It is the Big V who lead by 7 points over Perth. We'll bring you the second half right after this. Don't go anywhere.
What does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of good leaders. We've got a lot.
throw it straight down to Matthew Donald and Cal Cummins on the boundary for their half-time report. Over to you, gentlemen.
In terms of how evenly it was split. Cal, you've been down to the Vic roots. What did Daniel Harford have to say to his charges for the main game?
Well, Harford's very pleased about the contested ball. They're winning a lot at the cold face. Getting them inside means Harry Hill in that first quarter was absolutely exceptional. The ball use inside 50 was the other key point as well. Delivery in that first quarter in particular was good. The second half, not so much, not so polished. They're wanting to spread the game a little bit. While the contested game is good, try and get the best of both worlds. Inside the ball and spreading outside. What about Perth?
Well, Jackson Harwood had 3 really clear messages. So he wanted to clean up the kicking in terms of the disposal use. That was something that was really crucial for him. Ball movement as well, which was something going both ways in terms of the way that his team moved the ball and the way that they had to slow down the Big V moving the ball. And body-on-body contact, particularly in the defensive 50, not allowing the opposition forwards to get separation from their opponent and make the marking inside 50 a lot easier for them. So to close down the space when the ball was in the air, make it more difficult for their key forwards to get on the end of those kicks inside 50.
I think that's the key thing as well, because you can see the scoreboard. They've got themselves within a kick, so if they can implement some of those games into the contest, they're right back in the hunt.
I mean, we have a really good second half on our hands now. We'll head straight up back upstairs to the commentary team. Paddy Grinley, Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham and Ward Harris.
Thank you very much. Doing an outstanding job today. 53 plays 46. The VAFA in the lead, but only just. The goal kickers, Charlie McIsaac has a couple and then singles all the way down. Houghton, Churgwin, Harvey, Tarrant, Hill and Hope. For the Western Australians, Halligan with a couple, both coming in that second term. Furmac also with 2. Hinchliffe, Fulgrove and Morris, the other goal kickers for WA. 8-5-53, the Victorian. 7-4-46, the Perth Footy League. This is the centenary weekend of the Big V. It's all thanks to William Buck. Our third quarter coming for William Buck, celebrating 10 years of partnership with the Ammos in 2025. Our special and expert comments are provided by HitIQ. Game-changing protect concussion management system that they do is available online at hitiq.com, and you can use the code VAFA50 to claim $50 off. Hugo Higginbotham, let's start with you. You were downstairs for an interview with Brucey Conti. He took your microphone away from you, you poor bugger.
I know, I had 7 questions lined up and it was just straight out of my hands. So anyway, that's good. I enjoyed standing there in front of the camera. But look, what a second half we're going to have here. Now, I think if the Vics want to get back in front, they have to stop handballing pressure to pressure. So we've had a lot more possessions, but that is overuse of the ball. They've got avenues everywhere. When they go forward, look very, very dangerous, and it's only their own boot that probably is slowing them down a little bit. But the intercepting mark of Perth, and Perth have some very good avenues to goal too. Perth are on world record elite status for clearances too. So the Vics have to get on top there, and Perth, credit to them, there was a bit of a blowout early, and the pressure they bring around the ball is elite, Ward.
Oh, look, very good work by them around the ball. Funnily enough, actually in the ruck in this game, the big fella there in Sammy Grant completely dominating, 24-11 so far. So, look, been really, really good by him, and they seem to be sharking them quite well. So, look, they've got to keep doing that. But if Nash Miller can get a few more hit-outs in there, especially to advantage, look out for them and that quick ball entry going forward.
So, Ward, have you noticed that Victoria's sitting up behind the ball, Grant's tapping forward, but they're just not coming through, not getting through there. So, excellent work by Perth there.
You're spot on there, Hugo and Ward. My favourite stat for Premier Data so far halfway through this game. First quarter, the Vics took 40 marks, 19 to the PFL. Second quarter, 18 Victoria marks, 23 Western Australian marks. So they've really turned that around in a quarter of footy, the PFL representative squad. We heard at the quarter-time address that they were really hoping to hit some bodies and impose themselves on the Victorians. Ward, it certainly felt that way in that second term.
Yeah, look, it really did look like that, and you could see it right from the first bounce of that second quarter. The pressure was on nice and early, causing some early turnovers and probably getting that Vic side to get a little bit nervous. It brought that margin back, and as we said, 7 points at half-time set up for a really good finish in this game. 10 goals to the right of your picture towards the scoreboard end of Sports Cover Arena. Just the 5 to the Glen Huntley Road end, which is typically, gentlemen, the scoring end of this ground because that's where the wind blows. But as we mentioned in that first half, it's pretty dead still today. As you can see, it's looking a little bit dark and dingy. The lights are on and they are illuminating Sports Cover Arena for this second half. Overcast skies here in the southeast of Melbourne. It's the Vics
by 7 points. They're out for redemption after last year's loss out at Bassendean to the Perth Footy League. They're in a pretty good spot to make a run at things as this game continues. Our third quarter is ahead for William Buck, celebrating 10 years of partnership with the VAFA in 2025 as the players find their positions. Simon Petch, you're in his hands for the third quarter.
So third term about to get underway. Second term belonged to Perth. Who will the third term belong to here? Ball in the air, and Miller got it down to West. And straight away, he turns around, goes to centre half forward. Nearly marked there by Morris, fell to Stevens, ran through without it. Halligan a handball along the ground, held up by McCormack, and we'll have a ball up.
Well, there we go. Goes the script again, but Connor was very strong through the middle and gets every one of those taps underneath Grant's feet.
Glenn Huntley rode into the ground, West into his man, no free kick, came out, Morris handball, full grade, got it back McGowan, who goes with a kick up towards West, 48 out from goal. Did he get high? He did, and a free kick will go to West Way in the opening stages of this third term. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground, no breeze, lights on, illuminating the ground, and West to have a shot.
Now, I've got something for you fellas up here. Ward just whispered to me, he'll kick this, but he's not game enough to say it on the podcast.
No, absolutely. I'm backing him here. You'll kick it from 50 metres, slight angle, and this will bring the margin back to 1 point, boys.
So here we go. West puts it on its way, close to the man on the mark. It's a helicopter kick. It didn't make the distance. Grant got it down. Morris into goal, misses. And only a minor score there to Perth, taking them on to 7-5-47. The ammo's 8-5-53. 1 goal the margin. We've gone 1.5 minutes in this third term.
Ward's pen's gone through the wall too.
It was the second pen throw of the day, gentlemen.
Geez, we're not going too well in the cooling stakes. Miller, the intercept mark. The Perth Footy League with another entry to the top of the square. Backing back. No, Grant wasn't paid the mark. The snap on goal is a miss for Gallen. Oh, he had a golden opportunity, 25 metres out, Ryan Gallen. Misses to the right-hand side. We saw him, gentlemen, doing a fitness test at halftime. That right knee, you can see in your picture, is heavily strapped. I'm told that that's always the way for him, Ward, but Perth just unable to get the opportunity unable to take the opportunity, rather, to tie scores up, and we're just going to have to wait for the Sherrin to make its way back into the hands of Anthony Seaton, which it eventually will.
But yeah, look, we can see the pressure from Perth to start this third quarter is absolutely electric. Jackson Harwood's obviously fired them up, and they'll really need to try and push to take this lead.
But this is how they started the second term. They started scoring, kick back in, not a real good one, and a mark has been taken here by Manzoni. Out there here for Perth, so a bad kick in, 50 metres out from goal, Manzoni. Out of sight of the ground, goes towards full forward, up they go, Moorfield there. It ended up with him in the end. Furmark applied a tackle, kick off the ground, Gallen, no, he didn't go. And players fall on top, and we'll have a ball up. Mackenzie gets up last. About to be thrown in the air. Still inside the goal square here for the Perth Footy League. Now a chance. Smith, no. Churgman got it out somehow. Hill gets a kick. Goes in towards the middle of the ground.
They spoiled each
Miller
other.
couldn't hold on to that one. Harvey a handball to Seagar. In trouble, got the handball out here to McIsaac, who got a further handball back to Seagar, who made space for himself. 60 out from goal. Goes into the pocket to Harvey, and he sees it over. And we'll have a ball in nature reserve side of the ground.
For Author Sport Victoria, Nash Miller, the Perth Footy League ruckman, very lame indeed in the centre of Sports Cover Arena. This looks to be a right lower leg injury at the moment. 2 trainers out to him as the Vicks deep inside 50. Their first opportunity of the third term. Spiked down by Tarrant, pursued by Houghton, flings out the handball. Lane's got the footy. Wants his running mate from the Elsternwick in Marcus Stavro, who kicks the ball inside. That'll work out okay. Now Fennelly. He's a long way from his usual position in the back pocket, Jed. He dices it into the pocket. Harvey from 2 deep, couldn't bring it down. Hacked clear, and Halligan takes the mark at centre-half back for the Perth Footy League, and they are streaking forward in numbers. Back with the Flight Almighty collision. The mark is held on to. Louis Butler bounces straight back to his feet, and it's gone out to Gallen now, and he'll push it further towards left-half forward. It was a great mark from Cody Smith of the Sandgropers. Fullgrave now with it. Mackenzie stands 46 metres out. Fullgrave runs the arc, gives it his all, kicks it right to the goal line. They fly. It's fisted through for a behind. The Perth Footy League doing it in minor scores, 7-7-49. They trail the VAFA 8-5-53. 4.5 gone in the third term thanks to William Buck.
That was just a prime example of Perth having one free forward of the ball every time. They used it beautifully, and they're looking very dangerous here.
Well, they've looked dangerous since the start of that second quarter, really, for mine. Seton, a bad kick in defence. Now they drop the footy. Kick by Morrison. The goal, he's got it. They finally hit the front. So Perth have kicked their 8th goal. They go on to 8-7-55. The Amos 8-5-53. A 2-point margin. Morris kicks the goal for Perth. They've been willing a goal. Finally they get it from a bad kick in. Bad defence by the Amos. And they hit the front for the first time today.
Look, that inside 45 kick is my favourite kick in football when it comes off. It was executed. He just dropped the mark. You know, that's a mark you take every day of the week, you know, and that's scoreboard pressure way. That is the pressure of the moment, the pressure of everything around you, the voice of the crowd. It's frustrating, but the Vics, they're their own worst enemy at some times.
Morris, two goals for the afternoon, Wade.
Oh, look, you're right there. Well done there by Blakey Morris, kicking those 2 there. But it is those skill errors that seem to be costing both sides today, and it's cost the Vics this one as the PFL take the lead.
So Halligan, Furmark and Morris now the multiple goal scorers for the visitors who hit the front in this game of footy for the first time today. West flings out the handball, cut down by Campbell Lane, inside to McIsaac. And Charlie, well, if anyone's going to lift the Vics, it's going to be the number 10 out of the old Zavarians, Charlie McIsaac. He's going to have to give it his all from 50 metres out from left half forward.
Now, I'm saying absolutely nothing, boys. This is going down this microphone. I'm not having any part of this, but I was really impressed with the lead up to that and the ball used through the middle of the ground there.
So Charlie McIsaac, in his last 6 weeks of top flight footy in the VAFA, he's kicked 20 goals, multiples in every game, already 2 today. This would take his best. Here's Charlie, long way from home, gives it everything and misses to the left-hand side. He's had 5 or 6 shots on goal, I reckon, Charlie McIsaac. Just to take home 2 majors, 8-6-54, plays 8-7-55, 6.5 gone for William Buck in the third. Petchy?
16 goals for the game so far, so it's been a bit of a shootout. McGowan to kick back in here for Perth, goes in short, keeps it really low to the ground. Mark taken by Manzoni out there. And he's got it here for Perth. He goes towards centre wing. Up they go, Grant, a long way in front of Miller. He takes the mark. Lights on, the sign on the outer side of the ground illuminating very brightly as Grant goes long inside the 45-metre arc. Tarrant had it fisted away by Dennis. It fell down here towards Willem, who got it to Veneerson. He goes to the handball to Hinchcliffe, who got it back to Hammersley. Handball out wider here again, and the Perth Footy League hold on to it momentarily. Harvey went through, lost it. Hill picked it up. Handball Hughes. Bad kick off the boot. Goes to Lane, though. Handball came back inside here. Seckle run down, got his kick in time. Goes inside 45, scoreboard into the ground here for the Amos, and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball this one up.
Just a prime example of pressure there. There was opportunities, but you love seeing this. You just love seeing who's going to crack first.
1 point the margin. Perth Footy League have the lead. We've gone just on 7 minutes in this third term. Hinchcliffe, a handball, goes out wider here, and Perth bring it forward towards half back, and Fennelly takes the mark here for the Amos. Missed Upson. And Fennelly ends up with it here. Commentary side of the ground. He goes back underneath the scoreboard. They set themselves. Harvey up, couldn't hold on to it. Goes towards the boundary line. McIsaac applied a great tackle on Upson. He rolls him over the boundary line and will have a ball in.
Now, it's just apparent there with the last couple of entries to Victoria that Perth can run those out if they defend them because I think we're a little bit too tall up there, Victoria. The Smalls just haven't been getting there and retaining possession in their forward half.
So ball in the air. After all, that was a throw-up in the end. Tarrant won the tap down and Hill can't keep that one in along the boundary line, so it'll be thrown in. 54 playing 55. The Perth Footy League in front for the first time all day when Morris kicked his second at the 5-minute mark just a few moments ago. So what do the Vics and Daniel Harford have in response? No Sam Flockhart out there at the moment. We assume, probably correctly I'd say, gentlemen, that he's done for the day with that nasty left knee injury as Tarrant takes his turn in the ruck once more. Houghton was dispossessed. He'll go after it again at the bootlaces. They'll roll over the top of the footy on the arc of 45 metres and the man in green calls a reprieve.
Just stoppage work again, so both sides just wanting the ball, but the pressure is elite. It's one-on-ones there, so it's really good to watch.
All players up beyond the centre circles, so everyone wants a touch of this football. And speaking of football, the Sherrin doesn't seem to worry the Perth Footy League. They go long with the kick, down towards Furmark, and Seaton Furmark took the diving mark in front of him. No one to kick it to, though. The Cavalry have to arrive at full forward. He goes in that direction. Morris there, no. Brown ball to ground. Now a chance here for the Yummos. Lane head over the footy. Morris goes in after him with Hammersley, and they hold it up, Perth, and we'll have a ball in.
Thank heavens for Campbell Moorfield. That was the 2-on-1 down there. He did really well there.
Yeah, absolutely elite by Campbell Moorfield there for the VAFA.
Thrown in the air, Hughes had it knocked out of his hands by Hammersley, close to the boundary line, and Smith sees it over, and we'll have a ball in. Deep in the right forward pocket. Glenn Huntley Road into the ground here at Sports Cover Arena. Into this third term by 10 minutes, and it's a 1-point lead here to Perth. Down at their end, thrown back in. Hughes, a handball? No. Look at the tackling now of Perth. They won't let this one out of 45, and we'll have another ball up.
Yeah, look, one thing I was potentially worried about coming to this game was the smaller forwards for Perth. Just maybe we weren't quite tall enough, but it hasn't mattered today. And it will be a free kick to the VAFA, though. Got that taller forward line. It did work well to start this game.
So Harry Hill's with it in the left-back pocket. Earlier in this game, it was the Vics who just like to pop it around half-back. Nothing like that since quarter time. So Hill just has to sit it and hope McIsaac can fly from too deep. He's got the footy. He tried to fling the handball to Grant, and it was cut down by the Perth skipper and Willem, and now they'll tie it up out of side. So a lot of stoppages in this third quarter to start with. We've played nearly 11 minutes down, just the one goal. Going to Morris. Blake Morris, his second of the day. Grant has Lane behind the contest. He's with it now. The handball was intercepted by Halligan, who goes and gets it and puts it through. And the West Australians are coming in a rush. The kick inside 50, a little bit hot. Moorfield and McKenzie, the University Blacks for the Vics, work it out eventually. It goes the way of West. He's about to be run down. Dodged inside lane. Onto the right foot of the former Eagle. Sits it up high. The leak comes from behind. Couldn't bring it down there. Blake Morris has a chance for his third. McKenzie, a potentially goal-saving tackle some 12 metres out. Ball in the air once more. Was charging towards goal there. Looked to be Furmark, who had a chance, had the sniff of a third in his nostrils. Churgwin with the clearance, kicks it to the intersection of the 45-metre arc and the boundary line, where it dribbles out of play beneath the light tower. It will be thrown back in. Perth all over the Vics as it stands right now. Hugo and Wood.
That entry before, though, is a prime example. That forward handball of Perth to the loose player, and they get that entry. And it was unlucky. I thought Furmark was going to pull another one out of his hat.
Thrown back in. Miller got it down. Seagar there. Arrested the football, then got rid of it. Hinchcliffe going in. Willem. Couldn't control the footy. Lane's got it now, and he gets the handball over the top to Harvey. He spins around, saw Miller, got a kick. Goes towards centre wing, no one at home though. Now they charge through the middle. Perth go forward with a kick to centre half forward. Bouncing ball. Hugger just watched it go into Furmark's arms. Now Halligan into goal. Goes to full forward. What will they do? They'll palm it through. Comes back in. Morris kicks his third. To the Glenn Huntley Road end of the ground. Well done there by Smith. He palmed it back into play. Morris was there, and he kicks his third goal of the afternoon, and they stretch their margin out here, Perth.
Well, absolutely elite work there done by Kobe Smith, just keeping that one in. I thought the VAFA were going to jump on top of it and actually end up smothering that one there. Blakey Morris now 3 goals for the Perth Footy League, and proving to be a real damaging forward there. Yeah, with him on 3, Kyle Halligan 2 and Furmark, that forward line really functioning well.
Well, what you're providing there is perfect forward defensive pressure. Furmark there, up around the arc there, just getting his body in there and getting that kick forward. It's great to see.
So
Playing really well.
Since the 11-minute mark, the West Australians have kicked 5 goals, all, though, coming through Halligan and Morris. So it's been their guys up front, which are ruling this game of football right now. They'll go inside 50 once more. Now, this is a massive kick, Ward. Have we got the distance in this league?
Well, I don't want to throw the pen for the third time today, gentlemen. I've seen him, he plays on Millington Reserve, which is one of the biggest ovals in Australia, I reckon. But Benny Ramshaw, let's back him in.
So Ramshaw's at centre half forward. This would be for a 13-point buffer.
Hello.
It is long, and it is straight. Ben Ramshaw brings down some rain with a booming drop punt from centre half forward. 13-point leaders, the Perth Footy League. And the Vics are in serious trouble here. They've kicked the only 3 goals of the third term. The last 4 goals of the game, 5 of the last 6 They're all over the Vicks right now at Sportscover Arena.
Well, the curse is broken, isn't it? The commentator's curse. Called that one out beautifully there, Ward. But a telling stat, I think, is handball efficiency. I think Perth's running about 85% and the Vicks about 60%, because the Vicks are just pressure on pressure with their handballs, and every Perth handball's forward to a loose player, and you get that ball through the middle of the ground. And the forward line is functioning beautifully with the smalls down there too.
You can see this building in that second quarter. Doesn't surprise me they're in front, Perth. Hinchcliffe tries out of the centre, but he won't go anywhere. Stavrou hugging him, and he gives it back to the umpire. So inside the centre circle, thrown back in again, and Stevens has it held up there by Seckel, and once again another ball up. 13 points the margin. 67 playing 54. Perth Football League have the lead, and they head towards the Glen Huntly Road end again. Ups and down towards full forward, and a falling over Fullgrave allowed McCormack in, and he took the mark on his chest virtually. Unopposed comes our commentary side. He'll kick up here towards Stavrou. Given a little nudge there by Upson. No free kick going his way. Upson gets it back and goes backwards to come forward. And mark taken here by Miller. He's got it. Commentary side of the ground. 54 playing 67. Perth have the lead. 15 and a half gone in this third quarter. And he goes all the way back to Dennis. And he takes the mark here for Perth and goes and switches across. And at centre half back, they'll bring it back virtually whence it started.
I was going to say, probably the first slow play we've seen from Perth just about the whole day today. Just trying to take a little bit of sting out at the moment, and not a bad idea by the Perth side.
And the first time they'd moved it backwards. Everything's gone forward to the stoppage.
It shows they've got the pace of the thing, doesn't it, Ward? As Upson is the next in the chain, as this ball just bobbles around between wing and half back. For the Sandgropers, what a kick that is. Hinchcliffe takes the mark on his chest. Man of the mark on the Victoria Centenary logo. And Hinchcliffe again, though, will just push it back. So they've just taken a couple of minutes out of this game, the Perth Footy League, because they want to use the ball precisely as they wish to. Dennis will continue to horseshoe Sportscover Arena, but the Vicks have covered off those corridor passes. And I dare say, Petchy, they might come back our way. No, it's going to be a long kick this time. So what about the leapers at the front, though? It's Butler of the Vicks who brings the footy down. And now he might be able to bring the Victorians forward. He goes to Lane, who usually makes good decisions by foot, or maybe not on that occasion. Seckel made it look better than it was. He still didn't take the mark, though. Stevens ties it up beneath him, and that's worked exactly in Perth's favour, Hugo, for Hit IQ.
One prime example of how the game is trending is kicking efficiency. Victoria running at 32%, Perth 75%, so that's staggering.
Thrown in the air, Grant one-handed. Got it to his bootlaces, really. Lane handball to Seckel didn't work. Upson goes in, tries to pinch their pockets, but he can't do so. And 60 out from Perth's goal. Nepean Highway side of the ground, Glen Huntly Road into the ground, will have a ball in the air. 10-7-67 Perth, 8-6-54 the Yamos. And the Perth Footy League have arrested the lead in this third quarter. Stevens has got it. We've gone just on 17 and a half into it. Now he gave it back. Willem goes towards half forward. Fist away there by Grant. Ball fell to ground inside 45 here. Morris goes to ground, gets a high tackle, and he'll go back and look at his fourth goal of the afternoon.
You look at this, Hugo. You just mentioned the stats. Sorry to cut you off there, but 8 marks to 17, Perth in front. 37 disposals to 53 in this term, Perth in front.
So he did give it off, and McGowan had a shot, and he missed. So Perth go on to 10-8-68. The Amos 8-6-54. 14 points the margin. That on the City Power scoreboard for Holmesglen. We've gone 18 minutes in this third term.
Huggard went for a fly, couldn't bring the ball down. He'll go again at ground level and just bust his way through a couple of tackles, Ben Huggard. He's had enough to hope. Loftus is going to get cleaned up, although he maintained his composure. Held onto the footy. Dennis slaps it out of bounds on centre wing. Kane Loftus was just about away and through. It was Veneerson, I think, who came up to try and bump him off the footy. Couldn't do so. For Premier Data, Ward and Hugo and Petchy, it's all green for the Perth Footy League in this quarter. 17 marks to 8, 13 uncontested marks to 6, and then around the footy, 53 disposals to 39. As I mentioned, 25 contested possessions to 18. So they are dominating the third term as Huggard over the top of the footy is held up. The ball coming loose and finding Cody Smith, who is wrapped up by Houghton. And we balled up neutral territory, 54 playing 68. Perth Footy League having taken the advantage early in this third term and now improving upon it. Grant spikes it loose. Tracked down, though, by the Sand Gropers. Connor West with the footy. Inching ball along the boundary line. Flinging a handball over the top was Ramshaw. A goal kicker a few moments ago. Huggers comes up, and it was a big hug from Benny. He brings down Gallen, and we'll have a stoppage right in front of us, Petchy.
So about 70 out from Perth's goal. They've arrested the lead in this third term. Grant palms that one down. Veneerson into the back of the Ammos, but no free kick. Wobbly ball inside the centre square. And Hill's going to be the last one up. And he'll give it back to the umpire. Inside the centre square. Perth's into the ground. West handball, got it out. Ramshaw, long into goal. He's got it. No, touched on the line. Well, that was another long kick. Only a minor score. 10-9-69 to 8-6-54. 15 points the margin. Perth Football League have the lead. 20 minutes played in this third term.
Lane with the footy wants to go backwards and does so. I'm going to try and get a switch going. Ward and Hugo for hit IQ. What can the Vics do here to try and get some control back in this game of footy?
Vics need to stop that forward handball of Perth coming through the stoppage, and also they need to get moving. They're very stagnant. They're being reactive to Perth rather than proactive around the clearance span. They've been very fumbly too.
Tarrant jumped up to the footy. Barnett couldn't track it down, and in space, Gallen, who'll get cleaned up by Butler as he marked the footy. He's a kick and a half from home. He's got numbers in the left forward pocket, and they're screaming for it ahead. Gallen doesn't honour the lead, I suppose, and then kicks it into the hands of Butler. Not his finest moment. Goes again as Gallen pushes Butler in the back. And the Vics will take the advantage here through Huggard, who takes a running bounce through left half back and another. Dodges to the inside. Might be got this. Clint Hinchcliffe runs him down, and Perth quickly the other way. Halligan, no, spoiled away at ground level, and Lane gives it away, and the Vics come back the other way.
So luck's a fortune there for the Ammos. They work it out of defence, go to Hill, falling over Stainsby, got the handball up though to McGowan, but then he gave it up to Lane, who handballed to Seaton. Ammos go to 45, and the mark taken by Barnett. He goes in short, inside 45. And he's picked out
Tarrant, is it?
Tarrant.
No.
Loftus, and he's taken it there for the Ammos inside the 45-metre arc.
Geez, that was amazingly fast footy there, wasn't it? That was fantastic going both ways, and it's a tale of turnovers, isn't it? Vics have turned a lot of the ball over the first time they had a little bit of clean footy, and Perth turned it over then because that all resulted from that kick into the man on the mark. You know, Petchy, that's one of my peeves, the kick into the man on the mark.
So Loftus in the goal kicks it. Well, they desperately needed that one to give them some confidence going into three-quarter time. They go on to 9-6-60. The Ammos, 10-9-69 Perth. 9 points the margin, and we've gone just on 24 minutes in this third term.
Yeah, look at Ryan Gallen, probably not one of his prouder moments there. He had 3 ahead of the footy, probably should have ended up hitting with that one there. But look, a much-needed goal by the VAFA side, and we just saw him catch Perth basically napping there. Perth are playing that confidently where they just have numbers ahead of the footy all the time. The VAFA had 3 ahead and able to get that goal that they needed.
First goal in half an hour for the Vics. The 23-minute mark of the second term was when Charlie McIsaac kicked their last, and now Loftus joins the list of goal kickers. West is held up in the centre of Sports Cover Arena. 60 playing 69, so it feels not really like a 9-point game of footy, to be frank with you, gentlemen. The Perth Footy League have put on a show in this third term, but the Vics are close enough. Houghton kicks it past halfway to the edge of the 45-metre arc. Stavro pushed an opponent off the footy. Charging out, it was Hill. Couldn't make the take the first time of asking. Balances the handball neatly. Hope in the pocket. Dodges, gets to his left foot. Will snap around the body. Well, Skinny. In fact, just lucky to sneak in for a minor score for Jamie Hope. 9-7-61 the Vics. 10-9-69 the Perth Footy League. 23 minutes gone in the third term, thanks to William Buck. Celebrating 10 years of partnership with the VAFA in 2025, Simon Petch.
So 19 goals scored for the game. McGowan about to kick the ball back in here for Perth down at the scoreboard end of the ground. 23 and a half minutes played in this third quarter. He goes across the face, really, and Stainsby took the mark. Perth on the move. Hinchcliffe again, one of their better players so far today. Handball to Stevens, who goes into centre half forward, and Furmark hits him on the chest, and he'll go back and have a shot here for Perth. He's already kicked 2 for the game so far.
Yet again, an example of that free player ahead of the ball. So when you're delivering the ball forward with no pressure on you, those things happen. And they deliver it with pace as well, playing a good, fast game. And I'm really liking the game of Furmark as well. I think he's he's a good one to call because you can't miss him. He's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, very likely type as well, Braden Furmark.
So confidence is everything. He's kicked 2. 8 points the margin. He can stretch it to 14 for Perth. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. 46 metres out from goal. Oh, he's hit the post. So minor score there to Perth, taking them on to 10-10-70. The Ammo's on 9-7-61. We've gone 24 and a half minutes in this third term.
You just feel that the next sort of 4 or 5 minutes, where this quarter's going to go, is going to be telling for the rest of the game.
Seaton in a wrestle with Furmark, who just hit the post, ball near the boundary line. Furmark with it. He doesn't quite hit the snap as he desire. It takes a bit of a nasty bounce for a few of the players. In the end, though, it's going to be Butler of the Vicks, and they have the corridor. Hugger just needs to track the footy. He's had a big 10 minutes. Butler just about gets cleaned up by Fulgrave, but kept his footing like Loftus a few minutes ago. The Vicks can ride the bumps, and now it's Hope with Seagar over the top, who doesn't bring down the mark. Does get onto his right side. The kick is not good from Geordie Seagar. He lets himself down a touch. Out of bounds on the full. Clinch will take the free kick.
Just a prime example there of just a little bit of pressure, and pressure causes turnovers. Now the ball's back in WA's hands. So Victoria need to stop that free play forward of the ball and cut this one off.
And Clinch, again, we've seen this from the Perth Footy League. He goes backwards to find his defence, who will horseshoe the ground at the far end. This is Stainsby. Haven't called his name too often because he's been where the ball hasn't been, down at the defensive side of the ground. And now Stavro of the Vicks tries to force it through. Intercepted by McGowan, and the Perth Footy League will work it down that far wing, Simon Petch.
So Halligan's got it, centre wing, out of sight of the ground, the Pean Highway side. They look to go forward again, down towards half forward, and Mark taken Ramshaw. Well, he grabbed it, 47 out, or we kicked it straight into Moorfield. So an opportunity gone begging there. McCormack a handball back towards Houghton there for the Ammos. Goes out wider here towards centre wing. McGowan over there again, Upson there with him. They may use each other, they do. McGowan a handball back inside here. Stainsby's got it, he goes inside here to Miller. He takes the mark. Hinchcliffe running through the middle. He's been in everything today. Left foot kick goes into centre half forward. And Fulgrave has taken the mark 43 metres out at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground.
Absolutely amazing passage of play there by Perth. Just that inside 45, run and carry through the middle of the ground when they had 5, 6, 7 metres around them. And, you just shouldn't have that amount of space on the ground. And when you do, this is what you can do. Just deliver up forward and an easy mark for an accomplished forward. Absolutely outstanding ball movement.
So Fulgrave, from about 45 metres out from goal, by the time he leaves the centre square, Glen Huntley Road end of the ground, no breeze at all, drop punt, kicks it. No doubt about that. He cheered it through just as it left his boot. That's his second goal of the afternoon. Perth kicked their 11th. They go on to 11-10-76. And that at the 27-minute mark of the third term. The Ammo's on 10-11-61. And 9-7-61. And that's Fulgrave's second goal of the afternoon.
And 8 goals to 3 since the first quarter now, boys. So, look, Perth really turned the screws. I was just looking through some of the pressure acts as well. And, look, Perth even leading the quarter in tackles 9-9 as well, even with the dominance that they're having. So, look, just really good work rate by the Perth Footy League in this third quarter.
Thank you, Ward, for hit IQ. Plenty for Daniel Harford and his coaching team to think about. The Perth Footy League aren't done yet. West has picked out Butler, though, with that forward entry. And Louis might go for a bit of a jog through centre half back and just kicks it as far and as long as he can. And McCormack! Oh, he's nearly brought it down on the second chance at centre half forward. He's flown for a couple. And the Perth defence holds firm, although Willem's got a problem, does refer the handball out. And the kick is intended for Gallen and gets there on the slide, does Ryan. He takes it in front of Butler. 28 minutes gone for William Buck in this third term. Siren not too far away. Geez, you want to be sticking around for the finish of this game of footy because it's been superb to watch. The Perth Footy League have hit the front in this quarter as the footy's now with Manzoni on the wing. And they hold a 15-point advantage as we indulge ourselves in a bit of red time here late in the piece. Hugo Higginbotham, a preview of what Daniel Harford might be saying to his charges.
We need to get the ball in hands and be calmer with the ball and more efficient, basically. We've got really good, accomplished players here. We can't be handballing pressure on pressure. Also, too, the small forwards, the pressure forwards need to lift. It's coming out of there way too easy.
So Hinchcliffe goes to half forward. Ramshaw at the back. We brought it to ground, but a push has been awarded. And it will go to McCormack Grant here for the Yamos. So down in defensive 45, just outside. He goes back virtually whence it came. Kick towards centre wing. Up they go. Harvey.
that's a mark.
He's grabbed that one. He was the third man, the Harry Line, but he's brought it down here. Dane Harvey, and he'll go back and deliver this ball down towards the 45-metre arc here for the Yamos. Right underneath the scoreboard. McIsaac in from the side, goes towards the boundary line with a slap of the ball. And it goes over, and we'll have a ball in.
Ward for Hit IQ. I'll ask you the same question I asked Hugo. What's the message inside the PFL three-quarter time huddle?
Oh, look, you'd have to suggest really to be doing a lot of what they have been doing. They know the VAFA are going to come at them pretty hard to start the fourth quarter, so it'll be just trying to keep the pressure out of it, doing, as I said, what they've done before. Make sure they're winning those clearances as they have been, and really just trying to pump that ball forward.
That's going to be a kick on the siren. He's paid that.
You're right, Hugo. Well picked out. So
kick.
it's in the hands of Brady Seckel, I believe, for the Vicks. He's going to have to kick this from just outside the 45-metre arc at right half forward. And if you're looking for something to give yourself a bit of momentum going into this last quarter, here's your opportunity with Brady Seckel out of Old Haileybury, the 31-year-old who's the skipper down there of the Bloods, coached by Daniel Ward, enjoying a really strong season on their graduate year to VAFA top flight. Played every game, kicked 6 goals this year, Brady Seckel, averaging the 22 disposals, 6.5 clearances. This is a massive kick for the Vicks. From right half forward, Brady Seckel, no. Well across the face, it's punched in the air, and that might have got through for rush behind. No score. So 61, play 76. It's the Perth Footy League by 15 points as we turn for home.
What do you reckon, Petchy?
Perth will win. Yeah. They're just...
Three-quarter time here at Sports Cover Arena at Elsternwick Park, and in this Big V showcase, it's been the Perth Footy League that is spoiling the party so far. 3 goals to Blake Morris, 2 to Falgrave, Fermark and Halligan, singles to Hinchliffe and Ramshaw for the Perth Footy League, who lead this game 11-10-76 to the Victorians 9-7-61. Goals for the Vicks through McIsaac, a couple, and singles to Harvey, Houghton, Churgwin, Tarrant, Hope, Hill. And in that third term, their sole goal kicker, Kane Loftus. Hugo Higginbotham, Daniel Ward. I'm thinking of the old Haileybury coach again. Ward Harris, Simon Petch beside me, Paddy Grinley in the commentary box. Ward Harris, this is a remarkable result for the Perth Footy League as it stands right now. Can they go on with it?
Oh, look, based on the footy that we've seen the last 2 quarters, you suggest absolutely they're every chance of taking this game against the Vicks. It'd be huge to sit there and beat the Vicks on their home soil, and obviously hasn't been done. So, yeah, massive chance going into this last quarter.
Let's get inside the Big V huddle. This is the voice of Daniel Harford.
Let's look forward. All right, hopefully some players are hitting up. Means we're going to have 5 here, so we have to round up a little bit if the ball's coming in high. Right, so work hard. We're going to play a little bit smaller. Charlie and Dane as our 2 bigs. In fact, Taz, I'm going to start you off for a sec.
Go the jumper, let's go.
Get Charlie in and get Barney down there. Actually, Hopi, you come in there, Barney. Hopi, and Barney come up. Churgs, you'll come in, do your thing. Lofty's going to roll back. All right. So, transitions where we're getting beaten, right? Yeah. When boards are deep, particularly in our forward half, they're just rolling through. Broken tackles, too many broken tackles from us, I reckon, today. We're stronger than that. And we just haven't showed that capacity today. So now, it's all on the line. What they've shown us is if we're prepared to work, we're prepared to run and support each other, scoreboard's easy. You can get the scoreboard going our way really quickly if we win possession, be really clean, be really aggressive, and get the ball going. Don't rush this, though. You can't rush this. It's not just bombing the ball all the way. That's not going to work. Because if we're hitting 5, they'll have 6 and they're going to have spare 6.
Well, we're here with Jackson Howard, the coach of Perth. Jackson, 8 goals to 3 since quarter time. You must be thrilled with the way the team responded since that first break.
Yeah, mate. Look, disposal efficiency was killing us in that first quarter. It was only around about 51%, but we've sort of released that and started to hit a target and just get more connection. Just especially leaving D50, we get 1 or 2 clean exits. Okay, we seem to then get away from them. But yeah, composure's been huge for us since then.
What was the message to the boys then heading into that final break with the lead?
Yeah, just to maintain composure, be big in the big moments, manage the moments, and it's us or them. So who wants it? 30 minutes to go.
All right, let you go, Jackson. Thank you for that. Best of luck. Back to you, boys. There from the coach of the Big V, Daniel Harford, and thanks also to Jackson Howard for his time with Matty Donald at 3/4 time. A bit of fire and brimstone from the former Hawthorn footballer and Carlton AFLW coach, Ward and Hugo. Ward, Jackson Harwood's got a big job ahead of him. What do you think his address would have consisted of? What are his key movers, I suppose, in this final term that he would be putting it to win this game for their state?
Look, I think it would be a bit of a reset, if I'm perfectly honest, at 3/4 time there. They know they've got, let's say 25, 30 minutes of footy left in this game, but, almost pretend that it's all even Stevens at 3/4 time, and let's just keep going and doing what we do. Go back to our key points and keep winning all the ball out of the middle and hopefully kicking some goals.
For Premier data, the Perth Footy League, 31 marks to 16 in that 3rd quarter where they really put the pressure on the Victorians, 19 tackles to 12 also. So completely dominant around the footy, 40 contested possessions to 29 to boot. So it was a massive term for Howard and his Chargers. They are looking the goods. They are 15 points to the good as we approach our final term. All thanks to William Buck, the premium partner of the VAFA. Here's Simon Petch.
Some umpires got it. All or nothing. Now for both of these sides. Who wants it more than the other? Miller got the first tap down to Veneerson. Huggard goes in after it. Got the handball out. Grant a handball. Hill a handball. Stavro a handball. He gave it to Barnett. Amos go forward. Kick there by Houghton into goal. He's got it. So Houghton, within the first 20 seconds of this final quarter, has kicked the Amos 10th. They go on a 10-7-67. Perth on 11-10-70. And within the first 30 seconds, Houghton kicks that goal for the Amos, and that's his 2nd of the afternoon.
Well, that's an amazing chain of hands by the Vicks through the middle of the ground there, which what they need to do. They were giving away the middle of the ground to the opposition, but they actually started with a 5-man forward line, put one behind the ball then. So that player coming through gives you the extra outnumber and the overlap. So it's a really good, smart ploy. We can do that in this comp board. 6-6-6. None of that crap over here.
Yeah, who would want to do what the AFL does? Look, I noticed that there, and that's something that the WA side are going to have to really try and adjust to.
Miller to West, out of the centre go the Perth Footy League in response. So the mark was dropped across centre half forward, and the Vicks have it again. They're trying to forge their way through. Losing possession, though, was Huggard. The umpire calls them to play. Now Hughes has got a problem. And still the Perth Footy League come. West behind the ball. Thinks better of the kick inside 50. Tries to place it delicately. Lane comes flying over the top. Got the spoil away to Butler, who goes back to Campbell Lane. And the Vicks work it out. Lane's got a problem. Just got the kick away. Back go the Perth Footy League. It's inside 50. Should be tied up here by Seaton. And he's got some handball targets. Butler is one of those. He'll kick it through half-back. Campbell Lane's got it again. Simon Petch.
So, Nature Reserve side of the ground. He goes up towards centre wing, outer side. And no mark taken by McIsaac. No free kick either. West another possession for this final term. Handball. Stevens, handball back. Now, Upson goes into centre half forward. And a good diving mark here by Perth. And Halligan's taken it. And at the 2-minute mark of the final term, Kyle Halligan an opportunity here to kick a goal for Perth.
Well, once again, Perth defending those drop marks really, really well at that half-forward line for the VAFA, and they get that chain of hands. But that was an excellent diving mark for a big man.
So looking at his third.
Yeah, they all look big to us sometimes.
Third goal of the afternoon here for Halligan. Scoreboard into the ground, 45 metres out from goal, beautifully kicked. So Halligan kicks his third, Perth kick their 12th. They go on to 12-10-82. The MO's 10-7-67. For William Buck, we've gone nearly 3 minutes in this final quarter.
So shout out to Kyle Halligan there. Great mark there for the Perth Footy League. And look, I could even see the runner there in Rowan Brooks. He was our ex-state captain. Even he jumped up and down with a bit of a fist pump there. So look, the PFL are up and about, as they should be. 15-point margin, 3 minutes into this last quarter.
We mentioned this, Ward, earlier in the game where the Perth Footy League were playing well but just couldn't get past that 15-point margin. Feels the same issue that the Vicks are having right now with trying to rope in the visitors, who are just about 20 minutes away from a famous victory here at Elsternwick Park at Sports Cover Arena, as we'll have successive ball-ups in the middle of the ground. Connor West once more is the last to get up. I think he's worn just about half the ground today, Connor West. On the outside go the Vicks. Houghton's gotten busy. Kicks it inside the 45-metre arc on the bounce. Hope will track it. It didn't really sit for him. It sat up nicely for Jackson McGowan, the reigning CJ Jamison medalist, to tap it out of bounds, and it will be thrown in at the intersection of the arc and the boundary line. Hugo and Ward?
Well, that's a win for the Vicks because that's the first time it's come to our half-forward line and the Perth haven't run it out, so that's a good start.
Grant wins the wrestle, kicks it from 50 metres. It's a long, well-weighted thing. Harvey backing back. It was punched loose of his hands. It'll be thrown in the forward pocket. Successive stoppages inside the 45-metre arc for the Victorians. Simon Petch, can someone just get on the move here? I'm thinking of a Sam Barnett or a Harry Hill just at ground level. Let's see.
Thrown back in. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Morris over the back. Miller it was over the back, and we'll have another ball in the air inside the 45-metre arc. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Miller got it down. Now Venice got it out here towards Clinch, who goes with a kick back inside the centre square. No one can take the mark. Halligan, handball out now. Butler held up by Hammersley, and we'll have a ball in. A ball up inside the centre square. 4.5 minutes played in this final term. 15 points the margin. Perth have the lead. Hamos are going forward, but West holds them up. He kicks back inside the 45-metre arc, and McCormack takes a telling mark in defence here for the Amos.
So Sammy McKenzie, the University Blacks fullback, 12 games this year. Every game he's had such a strong season for the Blacks, who are just trying to assemble their year after a few wins before the double bye. Here's Hughes. St Bernard's skipper goes wide to Seagar. He's broadcast side. He's got Harvey down the line streaking forward for him, or Tarrant a little bit further up. The kick's a bit high. Tarrant juggles it well and then looks to the inside. Hughes or Seagar running past. Chooses the ladder. Seagar kicks it low and picks out a defender. It wasn't the entry he was after. It was gobbled up by McGowan, and then he waits the kick nicely. And Hammersley's marked it, and the Perth Footy League just working the outer side. Too late to that one. Coming charging up there was Loftus, who's gone back for the Vicks. And now ahead of the ball is Willem, the skipper of the Perth Footy League, and he's pointing towards the big sticks. Ward Harris, does he have the leg on him?
Absolutely, he's got the leg on him. I reckon he's probably a 60-metre kick most days of the week. So look for Blakey Willem to throw this through the big sticks.
Can he kick it straight, though? That's the question. Get that pen ready.
It might be going for the third time, boys, but look, if he kicks this, margin will be 21 points.
131 games for West Perth from 2015 to 2023. 11 games and 5 goals this year for Kingsway. Willem, no, misses to the left-hand side. Certainly had the leg there, Ward Harris, but not quite the accuracy. Perth Footy League moved to 12, 11, 83. They lead the Vicks 10, 7, 67. 6.5 gone for William Buck in this final term.
So Moorfield down at the scoreboard end here for the Amos. Brings it back into play. McIsaac there, but getting in front is Seaton, and he takes the mark just out of defensive 45 here for the Amos. Goes back to go across the face of goal virtually. And they'll bring it forward again up towards Tarrant, a long way up the ground here for the Amateurs. He goes in.
Got the free there.
And gets the free kick for them. Brings it up towards centre wing. Mark taken there by Stavru. Handball Seagar, who goes towards half forward. Harvey at the back, palms it to ground, close to the boundary line. Will they keep it in? Or Dennis sees it over as Seagar was coming. And will have a ball in 48 metres out. From the Amateurs goal, attacking to the Glen Hutley Road end in this final term. 48 out. 67 playing 83. Perth have the lead. Thrown back in. Good throw in. And a Huggard being held up there by Ramshaw. And we'll have another ball in the air. Commentary side, thrown in the air again. Grant grabs it out of the ruck. Went the kick. And they dive in on top of it again. And once again, another ball in the air.
This is just what Perth want, though. They just want to run a bit of time off the clock, maintain a bit of possession. The Vicks are getting frantic now because scoreboard pressure. Scoreboard pressure is huge now.
16 points the margin. We've gone 8 minutes in the final term. Kane Loftus breaks free from 48 metres.
Oh, there it is.
Kane Loftus. He's got a couple, both in the second half. That's the goal the Vicks wanted. They're back to 10 points. Margin tightens ever so slightly. The Perth Footy League still with the whip hand as we go down the stretch. Ward and Hugo Higginbotham.
Well, I mean, clearances have been telling today, so Perth have won some amazing ones. That's the clearance you wanted because there was actually a little bit of a channel through half forward there. When he got out on that, there was Vicks leading everywhere at him, but he backed himself in. You like to see that too. In a game like this, it'd be an easy one just to try and find that hit up, but that is a very important goal for Victoria.
Yeah, look, it was indeed there. Just the way that Loftus ended up setting sail and using the afterburners there, great pace from the VFA player.
So Veneerson and Hill back into the middle for their respective sides. Churgren tried to win it out, but Hinchliffe got in his way. Ball goes back towards Hammersley. He goes down towards Gallen. Will he get there in time? No. Butler will help him over the boundary line. And we'll have a ball in underneath the scoreboard. 10 points the margin. 9 minutes gone in this final term. Perth have the lead. We've had 23 goals scored for the game. Perth 12 and the Amos 11. Thrown back in. Grant front berth. Got it down. Now roving at West. West into goal here for Perth. Will he bring it back? He won't. Minus score. Amos on to 11.874. Perth 12.11.83. We've gone just on 9.5 minutes in this final quarter.
So we're close to Simon Petch, and all I can think about is the draw at this ground 2 years ago. Maybe. Long kick for the Vicks, out through right half back, whistle on the play. It's going to be a free kick to Loftus. 2 goals for him. New University Black this year, formerly of Torquay. Trained with Collingwood VFL over the pre-season, and it showed. Here's Moorfield, last line, wants Seagar. It's going to have to get there in a hurry because coming up to him was Fulgrave. Seagar takes the mark, darts into the corridor, balances the kick for Stavro, and they are off and through the Victorians. Butler into the pocket. Harvey on a long lead and has it on his chest. Clinch on the mark, stands at 44 metres out. A step inside the 45-metre arc. Harvey with his back to goal. This is just about the biggest kick of the game for the Victorians from Fitzroy's Dane Harvey.
Well, just amazing execution into the middle of the ground. And Perth seem to be giving that away now, very similar to what Victoria was doing in the last quarter.
Correct.
And it's paying dividends because there's no pressure through the middle of the ground. This game's been defined by pressure, and we're just seeing some execution when there's no pressure on, and that's a great way of using the ball.
1 goal already today for Dane Harvey, who's been showing some great signs for Carlton VFL this year. That kick isn't his best effort. He leaves it to the right-hand side. But the Vicks just creep ever closer. 74 plays 84. 11 minutes gone in the final term for William Buck. Ward, what would the emotions be like right now in the Perth Footy League commentary box?
Yeah, look, I dare say things would be tightening up a little bit there. You can just feel the odd heart pumping that little bit more. But look, the VAFA, to their credit, they've really played a strong fourth quarter of footy here, probably making Perth have to defend a little bit more and look set up for a really strong finish here, boys.
So McGowan to Brown to Hammersley, who goes back across to the Nepean Highway side of the ground. And Stainsby out there takes the mark here for Perth. He spins on a Thripney, delivers the ball up towards centre wing, Nepean Highway side of the ground. But mark taken by Seaton. Just held on to it for the Ammos and he takes it out there. So he has a look. He's looking towards the pocket. He's not sure really how far to go with this, but he just puts it up high in the air inside the 45-metre arc. They charge out. No one took the mark. And ball comes to ground. Players dive over the top and we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from the Ammos goal. Len Huntley Road into the ground. They trail by 10 points. We've gone just on 12 minutes in this final term. Down at their end. Miller got it down. Hinchcliffe didn't go. He elected his teammate to go and West gets up last with the ball and once again, ball in the air.
So 40 metres out from the Victorians' goal. James Tarrant taking his turn in the ruck. Sam Flockhart, of course, out for the game with that left knee injury. The Vics go forward. Hope got it. Jamie Hope, second attempt. Arms are raised around the contest, Ward Harris. The Perth Footy League not happy about something.
Yeah, look, I think they might have thought that one was touched. I actually thought it was a very, very good juggling mark there by James Hope, and an opportunity for the VAFA.
Well, when you get a mark taken on you like that, you're going to try anything, aren't you? Very important kick here.
So to get it within a kick, Jamie Hope, he kicked the first goal of the afternoon, or of the evening, at the 2-minute mark of the first term. From 20 metres out, Jamie Hope puts the Vics within one straight kick. Here they come. 80 plays 84, 13 minutes gone for William Buck in the final term. Hope out of Old Brighton has a couple.
Defining factor in this game is speed on ball. Either side uses the ball fast through the middle of the ground with no pressure on them. That's defining. So let's just see if you just got to go all out now if you're Victoria as well, because you're behind. You've got all the play. I mean, you've had more disposals. You're using the ball really well. They can't stop now. They've really got to they've got to go again and again, and they're still going with this 5-man forward line, one behind the ball. It's just working for them at the moment.
So back into the middle, 4 points the margin. Perth hanging on to a 4-point lead. Grant palms that one down. Vanierson gets in the way, but Hinchcliffe gave it off to West. The two best for Perth for mine. He got it out here and Manzoni goes inside 45. Furmark there, controlled it beautifully. High left foot kick in towards full forward. No mark taken. Rovers needed, no one there. Morris for 4. Morris has kicked it. So Perth kicked their 13th. They go on to 13-12-90. The Ammos on 12-8-80. And Morris has kicked his 4th goal of the afternoon.
Direct result, forward handball release at half-back there, loose player out the front. So they've gone back to the old script that was working for them, Perth, which is a great way to do it. But they've seemed very dangerous. Different tale of entries from either end of the ground. Perth, a lot deeper entry. And you could just tell that was going to happen there. Every time it's been down there, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Yeah, very dangerous.
It had that chaos feel about it, didn't it, when it went inside, and Blakey Morris been absolutely exceptional for the Perth Football League today.
And you've got to thank Gallen for that too. He got in and under, and he got it out, and Morris just stood tall and kicked it. Good pressure kick by Perth to put them back 10 in front.
So 4 for Morris, 3 for Halligan, 2 for Furmark and Fulgrape. It's been the smalls and the talls for the Perth Footy League up front that have proved far too difficult for the Big V defence, especially after quarter time. Tarrant in the ruck up against Smith. So the second choice rucks having their go. Stavros after it, couldn't pick up the footy. And a big tackle laid by Churgwin doesn't resist the handball, I suppose, from getting through. Snap forward by Willem, the skipper. Tap to the advantage there from Loftus. Oh, that's nice movement through the stoppage. The helmeted head. Furmark has been outstanding. Whistle on the play, going the way, though, of the Vics. And there's a player down as well after some head-high contact.
It was a very big collision there, very big collision. I think it was, there was nothing untoward in that. There was just 2 players going extremely hard at the ball.
And Harry Hill just getting some assistance from a trainer. Yeah, he's straight back up. So that's good to see, of course. Furmark, he saw as well for the Perth Footy League. So he's got a runner, a trainer and a doctor around him who are all just waiting for this Well, the umpire's just waiting for the umpires to clear the zone, and Furmark is going to be helped off the ground. So we'll get a brief stoppage. Harry Hill looks to be okay, which is good news for him. A concussion that put him in hospital in the last home and away game of the season last year. Furmark just jogging off the ground under his own steam, Simon Petch. So hopefully that's a good sign. The umpire just holding up play. So 80 plays 90, 16 minutes gone on the final term for William Buck. Harry Hill will be tossed the footy and play will recommence across half-back.
So Furmark coming off. Hill gets the football, handball out wider here. Lane goes with a kick to Seagar, and Upson was there with him. Seagar goes at it as well. Now they bounce out here. Butler's got it. He goes to the handball to Hughes. Back into the middle of Seagar. Amos go forward out wider here. Terrence just waited for it to land. He goes long with a kick in towards the forward pocket. Fist away from McIsaac. It fell to ground. They go around the bodies in towards full forward. Underneath it was Hope. Fell to Harvey. Harvey to Lane. Handball back to Seagar. Perth players are standing still. They go in after them now. And the umpires picked out a free kick to Seagar directly in front of goal for a high tackle.
Well, very lucky there. That was frenetic play coming through there. But Victoria, didn't give the ball up, which is great. Very lucky by Geordie there. He was under the pressure with that handball back. Very, very big kick here. Could be telling. Plenty of time in this game too, and it's surprisingly only 2 kicks.
So Seagar so far today hasn't troubled the scorers. Looking at his first goal of the afternoon. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground, 17 and a half minutes gone. They trail by 10. He can peg this back to 4. Drop punt directly in front of goal. 43 metres out, puts it on its way, kicked it. He loved it as soon as it left the boot. Seagar kicks their 13th. They go on to 13-8-86. Perth on 13-12-90. And we've gone just on 18 minutes in this final term. Seagar kicks his first of the afternoon.
Oh, look, and you could just tell as he was going back about it, he was very, very confident there, Geordie Seagar. Great finish there, and look, real game on our hands. 4 points left, and this is what state footy's about, gentlemen.
Certainly is. It's anyone's game here, isn't it? You've got a feeling that this clearance is so important in the context of the game. Let's just see where this one goes. What do you reckon, Ward?
Come on, PFL. Let's see what we can do, boys.
It's Grant versus Cody Smith. So the first choice, Vix Ruckman versus the second choice, PFL Ruckman. It doesn't hurt the visitors, though. Ward, it's tied up in the middle. So Grant to do the stoppage work and did well there. Smith just pushed him a little bit underneath the footy. Grant was unperturbed though. Later big tackle. Houghton flicks it away. Here goes Campbell Lane. He's run a long way down the far wing. Umpire said play on. The kick was cut off though. So the Sandgropers will be happy with that result. Henriksen takes the mark and then pushes it backwards to McGowan.
Well, intercept.
Oh, his kick was a little bit tardy in getting there. It'll go over the top, though, to Upson. He dodges inside. Seckel fell over. Upson, delicate with the kick to the corridor. Into the hands now of Veneerson, who goes into the centre circles of Sports Cover Arena and hits Smith, who kicked it inside 50. It was too hot and taken by Sam McKenzie, and he'll push the Vix forward.
So inside the defensive 45-metre arc, he got it out to Hope. Amos go forward with a kick to Barnett. He marks in front of McGowan, the P and Highway side of the ground. He's around 70 out from goal for the Amos. They trail by 4. He goes inside the 45-metre arc. Harvey couldn't hold on to it. Fell to clinch, and the Perth defence try to work it out. Now it's chopped off. Now they've got the footy, the Amos. They bring it back inside. Clash of bodies. Fist away. Going to ground with Stevens. Handball back here. And Hinchcliffe gets it clear.
What a kick.
And a kick found his teammate here in Willem. And he marks here at half-back for Perth.
So approaching 20 minutes gone. Final turn for William Buck. 4-point lead for the PFL. Willem careful. Halligan on the long lead in front of the benches. He turns his head. There's nothing ahead. The Vix have defended the ground well. Halligan, dangerous pass into the corridor. He is a classy operator, Halligan. Into the hands of Veneerson. Open man inside 50. Oh, the kick went through the hands of the leading forward. There in Fulgrave. The Vix trying to work their way through. Grant is collared and brought down 40 metres out. The umpire takes pity. He'll throw it up. 4-point ball game. 13-12 plays 13-8. The Perth Footy League took the lead in the third term. And the Vix are pushing to reclaim it at home at Sports Cover Arena. Connor West after it. Harry Hill with him. Puts a body on him. Locks up West. They'll fall atop the footy. And the umpire calls for the ball. 45 metres out from the Perth Footy League's goal.
So the Ammos are coming home strong. Perth are just virtually hanging on for dear life here. Thrown back in the air. They get it down. Stavrou gets a kick. Back towards centre wing. Good mark taken here by Henriksen, and he marks in front of McIsaac. He's looking short and he goes in that direction. Found his teammate here in Brown, and he's on centre wing, commentary side. 4 points the margin. 21 gone in this final term, and Perth have the lead. He goes backwards. He'll go to clinch and he takes the mark. Now we'll go into the middle. It starts to open up. Oh, gee. Henriksen didn't know what to do. Willem was there. He used Willem with a handball, Henriksen. He goes back to half forward, and Stevens took a great strong mark. And Churgwin just stands over him and virtually tells him to get up. He goes back on the mark, so Stevens has got it. 4 points the margin. They go forward here, Perth. A long way from home, but he puts it inside 45. Tall timber required. Up they go. No one could take the mark. It fell to ground. Morris along the ground. Wasn't going to work that time, and it goes over the line out of play in the deep right forward pocket. And we'll have a ball in.
Well, pressure's telling at the moment. You see players starting to just throw it on their boot, want it away from their area, willing it forward. Help the Vics there, just with Stevens holding that up a little bit. We've got a chance to get some players behind the ball. Very important stoppage here, Wade.
Perth lead by 4 down at their end inside their forward 45. Plenty of players around the footy. Venierson holding it all up, and we'll have a ball in the air.
So 4 points separating these two teams. Ball in the air. Grant hacks it out. Seckel came screaming through. Kicked it high. Wants a marker. Finds one. Dane Harvey's been enormous. Literally and figuratively. Wants to go nice and wide. Jamie Hope's leading for him. The kick will carry all the way to Jamie Hope. The Vics nearly past halfway. Hope waves them forward. Tarrant's next in the line. Seagar. Tarrant protected his space so well. Seagar 1.5 kicks out. Churgwin's pointing for it deep. Seagar eyes darting inside 45. Keeps the kick low. He picks out a goal jumper. Straight to McGowan. The opportunity lost for the Victorians. 23 minutes gone now. McGowan calling numbers to streak down the far side wing. The Nepean Highway wing. He just balances that kick so well to clinch. And he marks and holds up the play just beneath us, right half back.
So Clinch has got it. Seagar just knows he made that mistake with that kick, but they got a chance to get it back. Goes long with a kick. Clinch up towards centre wing. Good mark taken. Grant's got it. So here's their opportunity. Again, the Ammos. He goes in shorty here. Houghton takes the mark. He's on centre wing, commentary side. His eyes are darting everywhere. He goes to centre half forward. But the mark has been taken here by Brown, and he marks virtually in the last line inside that defensive 45 arc and gave it out to McGowan. So they'll chew up some time here. Hinchcliffe's got it, and he goes to Nepean Highway side of the ground. No mark taken. Plenty of players there. Great pickup here by Halligan. He goes in towards centre wing, and West has taken the mark here for Perth. They lead by 4. There's 24 minutes gone in this final term. He goes to full forward. Morris! No, Miller. Miller's got it. Well, they could have raffled it, and Miller's kicked the goal to stretch the margin to 10 points. So Miller kicks out one for Perth. That is his first goal of the afternoon, and a 10-point margin here to Perth, and we've gone just on 24.5 in the final term. But they could have raffled that one, Miller, but he kicked the goal.
Yeah, very handy goal there for the Perth side. Margin out to 10 points now. Not all done yet for the VAFA side. They've been the better team in this last quarter, and look, they'll need some strong work out of this next stoppage, Hugo.
Yeah, well, it was a tale, wasn't it? There was 2 entries there from the Vics, turnovers, 1 entry from the Perth League, and, you know, you could always see a deeper entry. You know, the Vics have been toying around up high. Dangerous on goal.
So we've been playing between 4 points and 10 points for the last 15 minutes or so. The Perth Footy League lead it by 10 points, and they're away from the middle. West has been superb. Spreads the kick super wide. Manzoni will try and chase this down for the Perth Footy League. He's very happy to usher that one out of bounds. It'll be thrown in neutral territory, Nepean Highway wing. 25.5 for William Buck gone in this 4th term. Hugo Higginbotham, if you're Daniel Harford, what are you doing now?
It's a tough stage of the game when you're the coach because you're so far away. You've got to rely on the players, their abilities and their confidence. So it's got to be all out now. You can't go defensive here.
Miller, the last goal kicker, falls behind Grant in the race for the hit out on hands and knees. Couldn't be gathered there by Churgwin. Stavro stands up in the tackle. Lane just hacks it forward. Just gained distance by any means necessary. Crashing through Harvey, who's had a big 10 minutes. Hills on the outside. The handball through Tarrant's handball was tapped down. He then laid a massive tackle. Huggard, his handball was ill-directed. The Perth Footy League get it to halfway down. Storming up was Fennell. He tries to win the footy. It's desperate stuff in the centre square of Sports Cover Arena. Seagar now after it. Gallen runs away from him. He had McGowan backwards. His kick was poor. He picked out Churgwin. He's played on. He's caught holding the ball. He was pulled down at the very last. Clint Hinchcliffe got him. And with 26 and a half minutes gone on the fourth term, with the Perth Footy League leading it by 10 points, they are really well positioned, Simon Petch, to take the win here.
So it sums up his game today, Hinchcliffe. That was a great rundown. He's had a fantastic game. You'd love him in your side every week. Here's Clinch, goes with a kick up towards centre wing. They take the ball over the line and we will have a ball in between centre wing and half forward. 10 points the margin. Perth lead 96 to 86. We've gone just on 27 minutes in this final quarter and we await the ball to be thrown back in. Here it comes. Grant front berth, grabs it out of the ruck. They ran straight in to opposition. West has it, got around Stavru. Handball, Upson, kick underneath the scoreboard. They wait for it. Mackenzie, it went right through his hands and he gets held up and we'll have a ball up. 27 gone, final term. 10 points the margin. Perth Footy League, 14-12, 96. The VAFA on 13-8. 86.
It's at the right end of the ground for the Perth Footy League as well. Deep in attack. Oh, Gallen went streaking through your picture, trying to pick up the footy, dodging through, getting the handball away. It's just going to be hacked out by Seagar for the big V. Down the wing, maybe still time. They're going to need 2 goals in about 2 minutes to win this game of footy. Hopes after it. Coming crashing up there was Churgwin. He interrupted the flow of the football. McIsaac is laid down by Clinch. And they love that on the Perth Footy League bench. And they all get to Isaac Clinch. The ball is stopped. Attacking side of the centre circles for the Sandgropers. 28 gone. Miller over the top follows up his good work. A goal that will live on, you'd think, at Perth Footy League folklore. The ball dribbles on and into the pocket where it's fumbled through for a minus score. 11 points the lead, so still a chance the Vicks if they go super quickly. Simon Petch through right half back.
So they do just that out of sight of the ground. Loftus couldn't hold on to that mark and Perth swoop. A kick high up and under inside 45. Mackenzie had to wait an eternity. It came down eventually, but now Perth had the footy. Now again, Hinchcliffe handball. Got it out wider here. And through full grade, they go into goal and he's kicked it. Has he or is he missed? He's missed it to the left. Minus score there to Perth. Taking them on to 14-98. The MO's 13-8-86. 2 straight kicks.
Well, maybe. We've been in this position before. Big fist there by Miller. Just by any means necessary now, the big V. We're at 29 minutes. Tarrant. Kick over the top of the head of Seckle. Didn't set him up for success there, Jimmy Tarrant. The hat kick from the Perth Footy League should be cut down by Loftus, so they're getting there first was Jacob Henriksen. And he forces it over the white line for a stoppage. Or desperate moments playing out for Hit IQ here, Ward.
Yeah, look, and it's those little moments now, like that spoil out of bounds, all the 1%ers. This is what ends up getting the game over the top for you.
They won last year at Bassendean, the Perth Footy League. Grant at the front of the contest, couldn't win the ball down effectively. Comes into the hands of Stavro, and the Elsternwick co-captain just forces it forward. McIsaac met it. Got it away to Seagar off the knee. Great tackling. That's Stainsby who brought down Seagar. Great tap, though, to Lane. Overlapping handball to Tarrant. 70 metres from home, James Tarrant. Goes sideways. Now the kick comes. Harvey in the pocket. Should mark. Spoiled loose. What a punch from McGowan. Oh, he's given away a free kick. And Harvey will race back to take his kick. Needs to get on the boot very rapidly. This for a 6-point ball game for a 92 to 98 scoreline. And for Dane Harvey's second. Right forward pocket. Just has to go through for the Vicks. Here's Dane Harvey. He has got it.
Well, this is interesting. Still plenty of time. So one clearance, one kick, a mark, and then it's a game. So there's never been a more important clearance than right now, Ward. Well, we'll just wait and see, won't we? But if you're the Perth mids, what would you be doing out there right now?
Oh, geez, you've just got to sit there and try and still, win the stoppage, but first of all, be accountable for your play. You need to be doing that. It'll be interesting if they roll numbers behind the footy, which they definitely have at the moment. Yep. So watch for the Vics to sit there and try and run through this stoppage, and it's going to be absolute carnage in this last little period.
7-man or maybe 8-man forward line the Victorians are now running with.
So thrown in the air. We don't know how much longer there is left in this quarter. It's anyone's game. Here's Hinchcliffe. Out of the middle, left foot kick goes inside 45. Underneath it, Furmark, but he's got McKenzie to deal with. He ends up with the footy and goes across the face. Siren! The siren's gone. And the Perth Footy League have won a terrific game of footy. 28 goals scored for the game. And the Perth Footy League have won by one straight kick. 14-14-98 have defeated the Amateurs on 14-8-92 in a terrific display of Australian rules football.
What a game of footy. Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham and Ward Harris. The Perth Footy League, they were made to wait till the very last moments of this game of footy. But what a result this is for the entire league, for Jackson Harwood, the coach, for this list of players. 2 on the trot now against the Vics. They did it at home in 2024, Ward. They've done it again on the road. Oh, look, absolute credit to the boys out there today. A really strong performance by them. Tested in that first quarter. And look, I thought it might be a long day for the Perth Footy League. But look, to their credit, came out from the start of the second quarter. Just able to get the chockies in the end, and look, I think they thoroughly deserve it. Blake Morris superb with 4 goals, 3 for Halligan, 2 each for Furmark and Fulgrave, Hinchcliffe, Ramshaw and Miller, Nash Miller, the last goal of the game for the Perth Footy League. For the Vics, 2 apiece to Hope, Loftus, McIsaac, Harvey and Houghton, Churgwin, Tarrant and Hill and Seagar the single. So Churgwin, Tarrant, Hill, Seagar, all single goal scorers. That is just a remarkable result for this footy league. They've been able to come to this ground, which is a difficult place to play at. All these Victorian players would have played here at some point over their careers, and they've been able not just to come back into this game and win it, Ward, but be able to hold off the Victorians' charge late. It just speaks, I think, to the maturity, not just of the playing group, but of the coaching group as well. Yeah, look, the whole group has come together as a whole very, very well. Obviously, a few training runs over the last month or so as they sat there and finalised that list, but you know, we came over and they were pretty confident that they were going to be able to get the chockies here today. And look, if you just look at how much it means to them, look at through these the middle of scenes the ground at the moment, absolute scenes. And yeah, you know, they'll be in the pub probably about an hour and a half's time, and it's going to be mayhem out somewhere around Melbourne tonight. You'll hear them for sure. I dare say they won't be taking the jumpers off as well, so I think you'll be able to see them coming, the number 19s and the number 23s. Let's get now downstairs to boundary rider Matthew Donald. He's joined in the festivities. The Perth Footy League by 6 points. Over to you, Matthew.
Thanks, guys. We're here with the skipper of Perth, Blake Wilhelm. Blake, how good's that? Immediately after the siren, you must be pumped today.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, we just started off scrappy, but we fought it out. Felt like we got a bit of control, and then it was just a fight to the end. They were incredible. Had a lot of good players, and yeah, we just seemed to scrap and get it forward. And some pretty mercurial stuff from a few of our forwards got it done, I think. So yeah, it was special.
Interstate wins are always hard, no matter what level. So for your group to come over here and be able to get a win like that, that's something that you've got for the rest of your careers. Is it sunk in yet, or is it just still pretty raw at the moment?
A little bit. It's pretty raw. I mean, I'm on the back end of my career, so I'm 32. So yeah, any win like this or any win at all is big for me. So yeah, that's massive. I'll cherish that one.
Well, no, we'll let you go and enjoy, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, mate.
Great there to hear from Blake Wilhelm, the skipper. Let's head over now to Cal Cummins, who's joined the coach, Jackson Harwood.
Yeah, mate, I'm so stoked, so proud of them. A little bit slow start. Proud group, and we just wanted to create history here. Probably one of the bigger days for Ammo footy over here, and we probably thought that it was meant for us to lose, but we were pretty confident internally that we could did, so pretty stoked, yeah. You that second half, most of really got on third quarter, everything sort of going the way. Why was just belief, and we just kept saying we was on a lot of the eyes, maintain possession chain, and we were kicking it to them a lot in the first quarter, so once we cleaned up our skills, I felt like we got the job done. Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys.
Jackson Harwood, the coach of the Perth Footy League, victorious and now joining his players because they all took the photo without him, Ward and Hugo, but he'll now, I assume, just be embraced by all these gold jumpers as they enjoy the festivities here at Sports Cover Arena at Elsternwick Park. A 6-point victory for the Perth Footy League, 98 plays 92 at full time. It was the Vics who led the thing early and we thought we might be in for a big day, the Victorians. They led it by 21 points at the first break. It was cut down to 7 points by half-time, and then by early in the third quarter, the Perth Footy League were in front. They led it by 15 points on the way home and then held on late to win it by 6 points at the fullness of time. Hugo Higginbotham and Ward Harris beside me, Paddy Grinlay in the boxes. Will continue to roll with these festivities. Gentlemen, we'll have a think about our Skins Player of the Day, all thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. We'll get to those awards a little bit later on as these players just mill around and wait for our Master of Ceremonies, Dale Christie, to bestow upon the Perth Footy League the trophy. Ward, what does this mean to not just, I suppose, this group of players, this group of coaches and the travelling family and friends and media people, of course, but the whole league to be able to come here and do the job?
Oh, look, it's obviously spoken of, knowing that, look, realistically, Victoria, the head of football or the home state for football. So to be able to come over here and have a win against the Vics on their home soil is always absolutely massive. So it's going to mean the world to them. A lot of players that get to play together. There's 7 of them from the same side there in Kingsway Football Club, where Jackson Haywood sits there and coaches. They tasted the ultimate success last year in a Perth Footy League premiership. So, it'll be interesting chatting to them a little bit later and seeing how much more it means to them as well. But look, it's huge for football over in Western Australia.
You mightn't get a straight word out of them later, I don't think.
Oh, look, it's going to be interesting. Look, big shout out to NAB as well, who are the new sponsors for the Perth Footy League state teams this year for both the women's and the men's. And I think they're going to have to shout us another set of jumpers because they are no danger of getting those back.
How does it work for me? I'm actually interested to know. Do they hand them back on the way through? I agree with you. There is no chance you were seeing any of those footy jumpers again.
Oh, look, and to be perfectly honest, they shouldn't either. You have a big day like this. This is what needs to happen.
Let's get down to our Master of Ceremonies, Dale Christie, for all the celebrations. The Perth Footy League crowned Interleague champions of 2025.
Victory today, retaining the VAFA versus PFL trophy. Obviously a tight finish, another close one. We're looking at extra time again, so well done to both sides. Pretty high intensity match, so well done to both clubs. Today I've got the VAFA President Paul Newton and VAFA Board Member Martin Kelleher to help with presentations. But to start things off, we will award the medal for the player judged best of field by the umpires. And that winner is from the Perth Football League number 5, Connor West.
I just want to thank the VAFA for making this happen. To our boys, we've never done it in the history, so it's pretty special. And to the big boys, it's a massive moment for us. But thanks for showing up. You boys put up a hell of a fight. The umpires, thank you. Really appreciate it. And thanks everyone else.
Obviously mentioned that by Connor then, but just join me in congratulating all the field, boundary and goal umpires from both the VAFA and the Perth Footy League for today's match. Well done, guys. Now we're going to throw over to the captain of the VAFA, Harry Hill, to say a few words and judge the VAFA's best player.
You got this? I'll take it.
Thanks, Dale. Firstly, congratulations, Perth. Another classy win from you guys. We had a good start and we thought we were on today, but credit to you, just fought your way back and got ahead, and we couldn't catch you in the end. So great battle always. Congratulations, deserving winners. Thanks to the umpires again. We wouldn't have a game without you guys, so I really appreciate that. To our boys, coaching staff, everyone who's been involved. It's been an awesome program over the last 5 weeks. We worked our ass off today, just weren't able to get over the line, but yeah, well done, and we'll be back and better, hopefully. Oh, yep. And the best player for Perth Footy League, number 2, Ryan Gallen.
Thanks, Harry. Now I'd like to call up the captain of the Perth Footy League, Blake Willard, to say a few words.
Sorry, Blake, you've got to hold both together.
Thank you. Yeah, obviously, first of all, to the VAFA boys, that was it was a pretty special game. Hard fought, like you said, you got out on top of us, and we just had to grind our way out. But all credit to you. You were very clean and very good, and we were just lucky to be on the right side of the scoreboard. To our boys, yeah, that was incredible. I think I said, yeah, we came together 4 weeks ago, and we started as strangers, but we feel like we're pretty good mates now. So that was an incredible win. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what we get up to a bit later tonight. Thank you to all the umpires and everyone, all the supporters. A lot of Perth contingent here as well. So thank you so much. Yeah, I think we're going to cherish this one. So cheers. And the best player from the VAFA was 23, Dane Harvey.
Okay, Blake, you want to stay up here, mate? Okay, now the coach for the Perth Footy League is Jackson Harwood.
Thanks, Jackson. Just say a few words, mate.
Yeah, just to go on from where Blake just said, thanks very much to the VAFA. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. I just want to say, yeah, thanks very much to the VAFA. We're really excited to get away. And, yeah, obviously thanks to the sponsors, NAB, for coming on board this year. We know it's a big effort. So I really appreciate the efforts of the PFL to put this sort of program together. We're really excited to come over here and compete and create history. And we've done that. So, yeah, proud group. And great mix of youth and seniors, and yeah, just stoked for everyone involved. Thanks, mate.
Stay up here. Stay up here. You get to get the trophy now. Okay, now welcome, President of the VAFA, Paul Newton, here to present the trophy that goes back to WA again. Well done, guys.
Here you go, boys.
Okay, we'd welcome everyone into the social room too after these presentations. So the bar's open, some more formalities as well upstairs. Thank you for your night. Tomorrow too, we've got the Big V up against Bendigo, starting off at 11:30.
Just let me know when you're clear on Francis.
On home with the Chockies. He is in quite the mood at the moment, Ward Harris. I wanted to ask you a genuine question, though. How much does this mean to you personally? Your involvement in this footy league is long and illustrious, but it seems like a serious achievement.
Oh, look, yeah, it is a real buzz, actually. I know it's hard when you sit in the commentator's chair. Sometimes you're almost not allowed to or not supposed to have an opinion there, but look, you definitely represent the state that you're from, and super proud of these boys. Had the opportunity, running different waffle clubs, to have a lot of these guys come through different systems that I've been a part of, and obviously I shared some of those with you guys off air a little bit earlier today. So look, just to see, the happiness and joy with those players personally, that's what you take out of footy is relationships. So to see those guys get to enjoy that, and obviously the group as a whole, absolutely massive. So look, I'm probably most rapt about that.
as we look through the highlights from today's game of footy. And I think it's fitting, really, of the two contests that we've seen, both men and women's, that we're going to come away from this showcase weekend 1-1. So the Big V winning in the women's game, the Perth Footy League winning in the men's, as it was last year out at Bassendean, which really speaks to, I think, the competition between these two associations.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was something that, state footy obviously got put on the burner for a little while, just purely down to the competition and some of the results that were coming out. But look, to see the way it's come full circle now and the competitiveness of the games each and every year, hopefully it's a tradition that, holds firm going forward.
This is our post-game show. Thanks to Altex. Invest in alternative real estate debt. You can visit altex.com.au for more. Gentlemen, we've got a few things to get through before we say farewell. First, cab off the rank, our player of the day, player of the game, thanks to Skins. Skins are the pioneers of sports compression. We just saw that the medal was awarded to Connor West out of Scarborough, of course, the former West Coast Eagle. But, Ward Harris, you had a different name in your book.
Oh, look, for me, Connor West, absolutely sensational all day, but it was his midfield partner in Clint Hinchcliffe, who I thought was our best on ground for the Perth Footy League and right the way across. His clearance work coming out, his use with... obviously ball with that left foot and kicking a pretty important goal as well. I thought he was absolutely exceptional today for the Perth Footy League and should be our Skins player of the game.
Our mark of the day is thanks to Sharon, the official football of the Victorian Amateur Football Association. Hugo Higginbotham, you have the mic.
Well, it has to be Dane Harvey, I think. The one over there on the half-forward flank never had no right to take that. The double grab came down and quite fitting. It had to be one of his marks. He took quite a few.
He was superb today, Dane Harvey. He was the only Premier B footballer out there on Sports Cover Arena. Of course, it was Brodie Steele who had that honour in 2024 out at Swan Districts out at Bassendean. He represented the Ammos last year, Dane, and I think he let himself down a little bit with his kicking, especially in front of goal. But I think today he was certainly the most potent of all the Victorian forward targets. So that's a little feather in the cap, I suppose, for the Fitzroy man. Goal of the day is thanks to Guzman and Gomez. Fast food athletes say yes to. Ward Harris.
Look, we got to see quite a few really strong goals across the day, but for me it was probably what I deemed to be maybe the most important goal of the day. During the third quarter, when the Perth Footy League were really coming at the VAFA, Benny Ramshaw ends up launching one from about 55, 60 metres out straight through. It was a goal that, we needed at that time, and, we give that as the GYG goal of the day.
How far will that goal be at about 4 o'clock in the morning? It'll be about 120 metres by then, won't it?
Oh, absolutely right. Covered the whole of Elsternwick Park for sure.
He's kicked it back to Bassendean. Fantastic stuff from you two gentlemen, all thanks to Hit IQ. Hit IQ's game-changing protect concussion management system. You can access that at hitiq.com. That's HITIQ.com and use the code VAFA50 to claim $50 off any order. It's been a wonderful day of amateur footy, of association footy, of the relationship between the VAFA and the PFL. Gentlemen, it's been a joy to be joined by you on the microphone. Thanks for all your work, and Ward, congratulations.
Thanks, Paddy. So it's out of the commentary box today, into the coach's box tomorrow. So we've got to get around the Big V up in Bendigo.
Yeah, if you're watching on, you can watch both the Big V under-19s and the Premier Beta Division 3 team up there at Bendigo on vafa.com.au. A big congratulations and a job well done to Matthew Donald and Cal Cummins, our boundary riders, and to all of our members of our VAFA Media broadcast team today. Marnie Silver, Braden May were elite earlier in the day, joining us for the women's game. And a big well done to Jason Bennett and the team back at VAFA HQ. It's farewell here from Sports Cover Arena. It's the Perth Footy League victorious away.